Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the McDonCast,
the funnest podcast in town,
city. What?
The only podcast around.
How come it's the funnest podcast in town, but it couldn't be like the funnest podcast in city?
What's
up with that?
That doesn't rhyme with around.
What is the funnest podcast in town?
I just hit the camera.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yep, okay.
Thank you, podcast
Hello,
dog.
Cena. Yep, thank you.
She is laying there doing nothing for
now
20 minutes.
Now she really wants my Chipotle bowl. We're mixing it up today with the food. We're mixing it up a little bit. I had fried chicken for lunch, so I didn't want fried chicken again.
The second we started recording, the dog got up and hit the camera and is now like about to trip on the microphone wires.
Yeah, she didn't have to. She was in here the whole time and wasn't touching any
just
of the
laying
equipment.
there, but now she's active.
All right.
Just staring at that Chipotle.
Yeah, she's really desperate for the lettuce, which she
anyway,
doesn't even like.
Everybody, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you here. I'm talking to you specifically, you in the audience. I'm pointing at you right now. Is the camera even on me?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm pointing at you. I see you. Hi, welcome back to the show.
that can work for anyone.
What do you mean?
Specific.
No, I'm talking about him or her. I'm talking about them.
Him or her. So it's still not specific.
I'm talking about them. This person right here.
Okay.
Anyway, some big things have happened since we've last been here. Comic-Con.
Big news.
Comic-Con happened. We're going to talk all about that. Twisters came out. Deadpool and Wolverine, a little indie film, came out.
All right, well,
both are blowing up the box office.
With a brief rundown. We've got trailers for all kinds of things. We got Skibidi Toilet news, which is something that I was hoping I would never have to say, but unfortunately it is true.
Mm-hmm.
Apple TV is around still. We got boys news. We got Marvel. So many Marvel, just too many Marvel things happened.
I feel like that's the story of entertainment news for the past 15 years.
Yeah, just too many Marvel things happening all the time. Let's get into it. Let's start things off with our first trailer. What's our first trailer here?
DC was also at Comic-Con, despite apparently popular belief. They released the first trailer for the first DCU thing ever, the Creature Commandos animated series. It looks fun. It looks fun. The animation is good.
I haven't seen the trailer. I'm looking at it now.
Sam doesn't watch any of these things ahead of time.
I used to watch every single trailer.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
Eventually, I was just like, eh.
I know they're in your Twitter feed.
I don't usually get whole trailers. I get like news stories when they come out, but I never get the trailer.
Like you never see anyone post a trailer on Twitter?
Not really, no.
That's odd. But anyway, this trailer also features the new DC Studios logo. It's the DC logo from it's probably the most famous one. It's the one where it's the crooked circle with like the 4 stars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Haven't we already done a new DC logo like a few months ago? And then like a few months before that? I feel like we are constantly getting new DC logos.
The last time they changed the main DC logo was like 10 years ago, I think.
Oh, it had to be before.
So when it became the blue circle with the DC in the middle, it was like the thin blue line. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there was that, but like I feel like every time they change streaming services, it gets changed.
It's been that one logo for a couple of years. The DC EU never had its own logo. They just slapped the DC logo onto stuff. They had that dumb intro sequence that was like a bunch of like slow motion faceless guys.
They still put that on everything.
They still do. I really hope that gets changed.
Yeah, can we get rid of that? That's all. Like the Marvel one is iconic because people like it.
Well, even before Marvel had the one where it's like all the pictures and stuff from the movies, it was just like flipping through comic panels. I think I like that one better.
Yeah, than the current one where it's like
because what I liked about that one
of the movies
was I don't think they did this originally, but they started doing it so like if it was like the Captain America movie, it would flip through a bunch of Captain America panels.
Yeah.
I like
now they do that with the movies.
Now it's all bland. It's all like the same intro every time.
No, the clips will change.
Well, they'll swap out clips depending on like what's new.
Yeah.
But like what I'd like them to do is like if it's the Doctor Strange movie, just have it all be Doctor Strange clips. Like I like that. It made it feel like unique to each one.
They did that with They do that every so often. I
mean,
think the Spider-Man one was all Spider-Man clips. I think the Captain Marvel one was all Stan Lee
Stan
clips,
Lee's, and then Black Panther 2 was all Chadwick Boseman stuff. But like,
yeah, which made sense. Like those were like special events, kind of like special occasion.
no, they did play a little thing at Comic-Con of the new logo where it was like, it was animated where it was like a picture of like an old comic panel of Superman from like the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
He like rips his shirt open or something, and then it flips around, and it's the DC Studios logo. That would be cool if they did that, but like each movie is a
That
different
was the
guy.
new intro.
Like you use an actual like comic picture of them, and then it
Yeah.
flips around. If it's like the Batman movie, it's Batman. Green Lantern, it's Green Lantern.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
That would be cool. They should do that instead of the crappy one they have now.
The one with the faceless
where it's just a bunch
superheroes
of faceless characters that like they didn't even use.
morphing around in a blue
Or even like
CGI void.
Aquaman was in it, but it didn't even look like Jason Momoa Aquaman.
No,
it was like the white
original
blonde Aquaman.
yeah.
Like it was weird.
But then like the Batman was Batman from like Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah,
Like,
it was that.
very
It was
weird.
like Dark Knight Returns one. I don't know
Anyway.
what the thinking was behind that.
Yeah, I don't really care about the new logo. That doesn't really like who cares? Like I don't understand why that. How is that a reveal?
What do you mean? How is that
Like how is that a reveal? It's a like a.
Well, they were just kind of like
logo.
here. They didn't like.
Well, they had
Drum
nothing
roll,
else.
please.
Like DC.
They had this Creature Commandos trailer.
Yeah, exactly. They came in with nothing.
Well,
this year.
Superman just wrapped this week, so
We could have got a teaser.
they don't have anything edited. They've been filming.
They can't get one shot of like Superman turning around and looking at the camera. They don't have like any. of
I'm
those.
guessing they have like no finalized footage.
They had that one picture from when he put his.
You gonna
boots
put
on.
the picture up
Wait,
again?
No, just put the video of him putting his boots on.
You want that?
Anything.
You
We
consider
got-
that a bigger reveal than the trailer for the
yeah,
show?
Yes. Dude,
Just-
no one's gonna watch Creature Commandos.
That's probably true. I mean, we will, but like
I don't. I still haven't
It's
seen the
only
Suicide Squad show.
only
Like the
7
isekai one.
episodes.
I still haven't seen
but
that.
this one is also like canon.
And I haven't seen the Batman. Either that just came out. The
But
new
like
Caped
again,
Crusader.
this one's shorter, and it's like canon to the DC universe.
No, it isn't. Do you
These
wanna
characters
know,
aren't
You
gonna
want to know
show
why
up.
it isn't canon?
We already know one of the characters from this is going to be in Superman.
Is it live action?
Nope.
Then it isn't canon.
But it's all the same actors from the live action stuff are playing the
Doesn't
cartoon
matter.
versions.
The only TV show in
Rick Flag Sr. is introduced in this, and he's going to be in Peacemaker
the
season 2 and
only
Superman.
TV series in franchise history that is canon is Clone Wars, and every single other TV show is not canon to anything
Your
ever.
love of Clone Wars is
It's the only
unmatched.
one that like they committed to being canon. I've never ever seen any other studio ever actually
I mean,
commit
all
to
the
an animated show being canon.
none of the Marvel animated stuff is.
Yeah, none
Canon.
of it's canon.
I don't know, because what if is all
Yeah, it's all made up.
random?
Then there's a Spider-Man
They
show,
were going to
which
do
was
the Spider-Man
canon,
one was
but
going
guess
to be.
what?
Then they
Now it
changed
isn't.
Yeah.
And then there's the zombies. That's not canon.
No,
They're
that's-
making are they making a Kahori spinoff?
Oh, they're doing a Black Panther one. I think that one's going to be.
Yeah, sure. It'll be canon for up until they announce it, and then they'll decide it's not canon as soon as anything.
I think it's supposed to be like
conflicts.
a Wakanda anthology thing where it's like bouncing around different guys in Wakanda.
Is there that much going on in Wakanda? It seems like basically everything happening was like Black Panther.
See, the
does
thing with
things, and
Wakanda
then
is,
his
like,
sister did like the science. And
It's supposed to be like a utopia. So like, I'm guessing
Today
there's
in
no
the news,
conflict.
everything is perfect.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty much how
our
it's going.
giant dome protects us from the weather, so there's no natural disasters. Back to you, Phil.
Everyone, go back to using your magic metal to solve all your problems.
Today we cured cancer.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they couldn't do that.
well, in the real world, I think if that happened in Wakanda fake
He died
science
of
world,
an
yeah,
illness,
he died of a nondescript
a
illness.
nondescript illness. They could. Why
that
didn't
their
they just
magic
say?
bead. If their beads can cure like being shot with bullets, I think they could cure also. Like,
Well, she
cancer.
tried. She tried to like make a thing to cure him, but he waited too long to tell her, and then he died.
Well, yeah, again in the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next reveal. We got a new trailer for Transformers 1.
It's more Transformers 1.
It's more Transformers 1.
They're gonna do
the
a big
movie.
punch.
The movie of Transformers that is being
Do you
made.
think this will do well? I'm not sure.
The early reviews are saying that it's really
They're
good.
saying it's good. I don't really know. The last Transformers movie didn't do great.
I think this movie will do
And now it's live action?
I think this movie will do like 15% better than the Ninja Turtles one.
Okay, yeah, I could see this doing about as well
Yeah,
as the
just
Ninja
based
Turtle
on
one.
like art style, fan base, and popularity. I'm saying whatever the Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem did, add 15%. That's probably what this is going to do.
It better boost toy sales because that's how Mutant Mayhem
Now, this
made all
movie
its
looks
money.
insanely expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any hope of it remaking its budget, but we'll see.
It's definitely a more expensive voice cast than the Turtles had.
Yeah.
There's also another trailer for Joker. Is Joker 2, Joker's back? There's two Jokers now.
Switch to the...
I don't really have that much. We've talked about Transformers before.
There's the Primes. Okay, I don't like that they have to be gifted magic transforming orbs to transform. I feel like they should just be able to do that.
I don't like how they transform into cars that are like Earth cars.
Well, they're like sort of space cars.
But why would you need to be a space car?
But they've always done like that. Was every version of Transformers they transform.
It doesn't make sense. Why do they need to transform at all? It seems only like marginally faster than most of them. Why do dung
beetles push poop around? I think it's just what they do. Like, I think that's just what they do.
No, but like, can't Starscream fly without transforming into a plane?
I don't think so.
Maybe he can't. I don't know.
It seems definitely faster than running.
It seems like maybe a little, but they're so big, they get everywhere they need to go really quickly.
Why does Sonic the Hedgehog roll into a ball? He can already run.
Because then when he rolls into stuff, it blows up.
It's just what he does.
But they can like move and shoot without being a car. It just seems like this is like prohibitive to like what they're trying to do.
I feel like being a car would be faster. I feel like being a car would be faster than just running everywhere. Like the Decepticons especially, because half of them are planes. Like they can fly places.
I mean, running is definitely faster for Megatron because he doesn't transform into a car.
He turns into a gun. But like that's just insanely stupid. That was conceptually stupid from the beginning.
No, that was conceptually because they had to make a toy out of the gun one.
Yeah, so in Japan, the hero character was the one that actually transformed it. Okay, it's very confusing.
Just watch The Toys That Made Us if you really want to know.
Watch The Toys That Made Us is a very cool documentary. It explains all the lore. Basically, Megatron was the hero character, and the gun is the gun that the hero had in the Japanese version of whatever the lore was. And then when the American company took all the designs to make toys out of them, they were like, oh, well, we have to use this because they said so. Anyway, let's go to the next trailer. What's the next trailer? We got Joker Filet-A-Do, more of the Joker singing.
That's right.
I can't wait to hear the Joker sing. So he's free now? Why is this the trial of the century? This should not be that big of a deal.
I mean, he did start that like big clown riot craze.
Yeah, but that didn't really make a lot of sense.
What is he going to, doesn't he escape at the end of Joker? Yeah.
He escapes the room. I don't know if he escapes the prison.
No, they like the rioters like break him out. No, because he ends up back
he just busts out of the room and runs off, but then the nurse is chasing him.
Right.
We don't know if he escapes out of jail.
Right. Well, he's going to be at Arkham in this because he's got to meet Harley Quinn.
Well, it seems like in this Harley Quinn's already crazy.
Well,
it seems like her origin story is totally different.
Well, she's working. Is she going to be another patient at?
No, I think
Arkham?
She's like an up and coming like music artist. I thought.
No, well, she's going to sing. She's going to be Lady Gaga.
No, I think she's a patient. It looks like she's a patient.
Okay, so they might change it a little bit because obviously in the original story she's a doctor.
She's a nurse. Yeah.
She's a doctor, Sam.
Doctor.
Women can be doctors too. Okay, what is up with this?
What is up with what?
You see a woman and you just assume she's a nurse?
I assume she's a nurse because I don't know.
Because he's sexist.
She's got nurse vibes.
Okay.
Why would you, if you're a doctor, choose to like abandon your career and become like a?
Because she fell in love with the Joker and went crazy.
Yeah, but like, she doesn't do anything.
What do you mean?
Like in general, like she doesn't really do anything.
Like when she
is
Harley Quinn?
Doctors do things.
She's a psychiatrist.
Yes, when she's a psychiatrist, she's doing things.
Yes.
When she becomes Harley Quinn, she just kind of like, except for the Harley Quinn show and like the Suicide Squad stuff where like she's a totally different character altogether. When she's normal Harley Quinn, she doesn't really do...
She just schemes.
She hands Joker things. That's what a nurse does. They hand the doctor things. So I just assume...
Well, she's in an abusive relationship with a psychopathic murderer.
So are you saying every nurse is in an abusive relationship with a doctor?
No, I'm saying Harley Quinn is in an abusive relationship with Joker who constantly beats her up and like abandons her in horrible situations.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Okay, but that's like... That interpretation of the character is fairly recent.
No, that was from the original thing she was introduced in Batman the Animated Series in the 1990s.
But that part of their relationship was not until the end of the show. Like it was when she was introduced, she was just kind of
like in that first episode she's in, but then the next time she shows up, she's getting like left in an alleyway by the Joker.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not I haven't seen the original show. I don't know that much about Harley Quinn.
No, I mean, okay, I don't really know what
I just know
this movie is going to be about. It just kind of looks like they're gonna run around town singing a lot. Like, what is the plot of this? Is it just him going to court because he's just gonna lose?
Yeah, I mean, he
Harvey Dent is in this trailer.
He admitted to like killing the dudes.
Yeah, like,
and then he was like,
and then he killed another guy on
national, like on TV.
Yeah,
and like, there's no AI yet because it's in like the 80s. So like, he definitely that was just happened, you know.
He also said Todd Phillips said this Joker's never going to become the Clown Prince of Crime. Like he's just like a completely different kind of dude.
So he's the Clown Prince of systemic issues, like
of systemic unawareness
failures.
Of mental health issues.
He's the Clown Prince of mental health.
Yeah, negative mental health,
bad mental health.
Yeah, but I'm like, so I don't really know where they're going with this. Is this movie just going to be him in a mental asylum? He falls in love. They do a lot of singing. He goes to trial, loses, ends up in the same mental asylum, does more singing, the movie ends. Because it seems like that's what it is.
I guess.
There's there's nowhere to go with this.
It's not like it's not like this character is a character that can have an arc.
Yeah. I mean, the first Joker is pretty... Not a lot happens in the first Joker either.
As a character is stagnant. And that's fine. Well, he's stagnant on purpose. He's
stagnant until Batman is there. You need Batman for him to no longer be stagnant.
Well, no, even when Batman shows up, like he becomes fully obsessed with the Batman, but that's not really a change in his character. That's more of a change in his behavior. But like the Joker fundamentally, aside from his origin story, never actually changes as a person. He just kind of is
once
crazy.
He's there, he's just there.
Once he's Joker, he is Joker and he doesn't change. He's always Joker. Even in the Harley Quinn show where he like tried to redeem himself, it didn't work, and he just was still the Joker. So.
Well, I don't understand like where's really left to go with this, because
especially this version of the character.
Well, yeah,
you know that it's not gonna
like they did the thing. I mean, I don't think they really knew either. They got $200 million, and the studio was like, "Please, for the love of God, make us another Joker movie." And they were like, "I guess you do Harley Quinn now. Sure, why not?" But I don't really know what to expect from this. I am not expecting anything really that good, if I'm being quite honest.
My expectations for this movie are about where they were with the first Joker movie.
Have we ever talked about? I mean, what do you think of the first Joker?
It was good. Like it was pretty good for what it was.
It's fine.
It's a lot better than it should have been
for the most part. That's pretty much.
It does a pretty good job of highlighting like relevant social. Like it is not really a superhero movie. It is a movie about the failures of like mental health care.
It's like, only called Joker because that's how you get people. Because
that's how you get people in.
Yeah.
Like for what the movie is trying to be, which is like
a Scorsese light,
light, like mental health worst case scenario situation movie.
Parable.
It's pretty good. Like it does a fine job of that. But they did not leave it anywhere to go.
No, because it was very clearly just supposed to be one and done.
Yeah.
But now we have to do more just because.
Is this supposed to be the origin of the guy who inspired the Joker to like call himself the Joker?
I don't think it's even that. I think it's just you wanted more Joker stuff. Here's him doing
Joker.
They're gonna do 2 stair kicks at the same time.
2 jokes.
They're gonna do more dancing. Like it's just gonna be more of the stuff you saw.
Yeah, that's also a weird. Like, okay, if the first movie, the expectation was it's going to be superhero movie, origin story, Joker, and then the real movie was it's a story about bad mental health and the system is you're up against the system and you're going to lose. Mm-hmm. What is this movie? If the expectation is that, like we've reset expectations to social commentary, and then we know from the trailer and the leaks that it's going to be a jukebox musical.
Yeah. Which apparently also
what are we doing?
He's not going to sing like he's going to just sing like a guy.
And why are we doing this?
But Lady Gaga's going to sing like a singer because it's Lady Gaga.
Okay, but that might make it worse.
So it'll be one person who can't
You'll have
sing
one
and
person
who
who's singing
can't.
good, and then
Ah!
Joaquin Phoenix
Yeah.
making noises.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, hopefully, at least.
Yeah, it'll be something.
It's not I'll give you this, you're not winning another Oscar.
No, well, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe best
Maybe it'll be
score.
really
Didn't
good.
it win? I think the first one won an Oscar for the score. So
Did it? Was the
Maybe-
score good? I don't even remember the score of the Joker.
I mean, when's the last time you saw that movie?
I mean,
Like when it came out?
probably
it was like
when
5
it came.
years
I
ago.
saw it, I think 2 or 3 times when it came
God,
out.
I
with
remember when that movie came
groups of
out and
friends.
like everyone. I just remember everyone seeing it and like no one feeling all that
I
strong
don't think
about
people
it.
knew. I think people's expectations, and in the film
There were a lot. There were. I
so
definitely
different.
encountered a lot of people who were like, "I wanted it to be more Joker, Batman comic stuff."
Yeah, I think that the expectations versus the film that was delivered was so different that a lot of people just didn't have much.
Which
to
is
say.
which is the audience's fault because they never sold it as it being. Like it was odd. The marketing in the movie are like it's
Fairly
are
accurate,
fairly
yeah.
accurate. So it was never sold as like the Joker's gonna run around the city and blow up like a Ace Chemicals hardware building. Like it was like I don't really know what people expected from that movie at all because it's people love the Joker. They just like evil clown.
He has the best aesthetic of any villain.
Yeah,
ever.
they just like evil clown, and so when that movie came out, they just showed up expecting that, and he's barely in the clown makeup for most of it, and people were probably really disappointed by that.
Like I'll say, as far as villain
That movie
theming
made
go,
that movie made
The
$1
Joker?
billion.
probably number one. I can't think of a single villain.
Oh, easily.
I don't think there's a single villain who is more like thematically consistent than the Joker. His evil lair is an abandoned theme park.
He is perfectly manufactured to be the complete opposite of Batman.
Yeah, he's
the only villain. Well, every good arch nemesis is like that though, because like
no, but he's like he takes it to another level.
Because they're. I think it works so well for them because like him and Batman are just such extremes.
Yeah,
Of each other. Like Joker is as crazy can go, and Batman is as like
also crazy,
but also like so obsessed with like rules and codes and like vengeance and morality and all that.
They're equally crazy in opposite directions.
Yeah, which is the whole point.
Yeah,
But then you get like Superman and Lex Luthor. They're both like the opposite of crazy. They're both like very consistent.
Yeah, they're
moral
both fundamentally
value.
like
They both have very consistent like values.
they just have different values.
They have different values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Batman is like, I will solve the world's problems with rules at any cost necessary.
Yeah.
And the Joker is, I will break any rule there is at any cost necessary. So I mean, but I mean, like, as far as aesthetic goes, like exploding cars, like the Joker has it all down.
Because he's just doing clown. He's
Yeah,
just doing
he's
clown
just doing
stuff.
clown stuff, and he's so good at it. Anyway, what is our next trailer here?
Dude. I'm just looking at $200 million, 2 hours long, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
For the
Comes
Joker
out in
movie?
October. Yep. Harvey Dent's in this. Are we gonna get? You think we're gonna do Two-Face stuff?
Well, okay, my question is, if it's not really related to Batman stuff, why are we adding other like Batman characters?
Because I mean, it's just part of the world.
Just cause?
Because it's Gotham. He's in Arkham. I mean, Bruce Wayne is technically in this. His parents died in the last one.
Yeah, they're like babies.
Which was that I feel like was like a studio
That was
note.
random. That was not.
That's what I'm
related at
saying.
all.
I think that one was a studio note. They were like, "Can you have his parents get shot just in case we ever want to do a Batman movie with this? Can you kill his parents so that this feels like it's important?"
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the Matt Reeves Batman origin.
I don't think because there's another Joker in
Was
Batman.
Thomas Wayne in the movie?
In Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like because remember Arthur thinks that he's his dad.
Yeah.
So he's like stalking him around the whole time. And, like
I don't
talks to
remember
him
if
in
we
the
see
bathroom.
his face though.
Yeah, no, they have a whole conversation in the bathroom.
Oh, that's right.
Where he's like,
was it
"You're
the same?
nuts."
Was it the same actor that played him in?
No, none of it's the same for
Okay.
the Maverick
I was just
stuff.
curious if it was if anyone. Anyway, all right.
Great.
What's
Let's
our next?
move
We got
on.
yay! We have the favorite. We got the director's cut of Rebel Moon.
Yay!
I know nothing about Rebel
They're
Moon.
both
I
3
have not
hours.
seen
There's
Rebel Moon.
so there's obviously there's 2 parts to Rebel Moon right now. And there's going to be the same 2 parts re-released now, both 3 hours long. They've changed the titles on both of them for some reason.
Right.
They're R-rated now. They got cool shooty bloody violence, and now there's more nudity.
Yay.
Are you hyped? Are you gonna watch Rebel Moon? Did you ever watch Rebel Moons 1 and 2?
No, why would I do that?
Yeah, I did. I watched them.
Why?
I hate myself. I won't watch these though. I can't do it. The second one,
But Tucker, what if they're better?
I hope they are, and I still won't watch them. I don't care. The second one is 2 hours right now, like the current version, and there's still like a 45 minutes of them just slow-mo harvesting grain. So I'm assuming the 3-hour cut has at least another
Why are they
15
killing the
minutes
queen?
to 15 to 30 more minutes of just that.
Oh, the snakes are eating each other.
The snakes?
There weren't.
I don't
snakes in
even
the original
remember what
cut?
happened in the
Oh, a
first
dude
two.
just ripped a dude in half.
I just remember there being
robot
the
guys got
Empire, and
antlers.
then they
Oh,
all have a
that-
big
that
explosion.
Probably gonna get us demonetized. I just realized this whole trailer's probably gonna.
Oh,
get
this
us.
radar. I mean, we don't. This isn't monetized anyway.
Oh well, I guess this.
We're not making money from this.
Well, yeah, but it'll we won't get.
I cannot explain to our audience enough how many thousands of dollars we've lost over the years doing this podcast.
Just from the food that we eat.
From the
on
food and
podcast.
from the movies we would have not seen otherwise. Just to say that we did. We saw Fly Me to the Moon, Sam.
Yeah, but we didn't even review that.
Nope. And we never will.
Why is there a big sci-fi lady with tubes coming out of her head?
Oh, she was in is she the spidery one?
I don't know.
Okay, well she was in the first one, I think. Anyway, let's move on.
What is she? What is she?
I don't
do?
remember. I don't remember what anyone does. I just remember there was a robot named
How
Jimmy.
did you watch 4 hours of this and you don't know what anything is?
That explains how good the movie was, Sam.
No, it doesn't. It explains that you didn't pay
I remember
attention
there
at
was a robot named Jimmy.
Is he the one with antlers?
Yes.
Why does he have antlers?
Because there's like a little girl who like gives him antlers, and then he like runs over with a gun at the end.
Does he need antlers?
No. He's voiced by Anthony Hopkins. I remember that. I remember that.
You know Anthony Hopkins is Welsh. Fun fact about Anthony Hopkins.
Thanks.
Did you know he was Welsh?
No.
Well, now you do.
I forgot the name of the country Wales earlier
Yeah,
today.
earlier today, we were talking about the Welsh Deadpool and the Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoilers, I guess. There's a Welsh
That's in the
Deadpool.
trailer, I think.
And Tucker asked me, what country are Welsh people
I couldn't remember it.
And I was
at
like,
the
they're
moment.
from Wales.
I forgot there was a country named Wales.
It's like the only country that starts with a W.
They're basically just freaking England.
Yeah, I don't think the Welsh people would be very happy.
Oh,
about you saying
well, cry me a river with Welsh. What are you going to do?
They'll
Have a crappy soccer
sick
team?
their sheep on you.
Yeah.
They have sheep.
Why don't you go drink yourself to
hills.
sleep in a bar, all right?
And they have grass. And clouds. You have clouds? No, because you're not Welsh.
Do I have, like, personally, do I
Yeah.
have clouds? I don't, do I?
No,
Do the clouds
'cause you're not
above,
Welsh.
if I own property, do the clouds above my property count as my property?
Depends on if you're the U.S. government or not.
How come the government owns the sky? How come I can't own
Because
the sky?
they used to be the only guys who could build airplanes.
But what if I build an airplane?
Then you're fine.
What if
As long
I
as you
build an
don't fly
airplane and I just
over
fly
a
around?
government's spot?
Where's the government spots?
They
It's
tell
just the
you.
military bases?
They call you on the radio. They go, "Hey, don't fly over.
Don't
this
fly
spot."
over this, just
Yeah.
in case. Do the airlines own the sky?
No,
Who owns the sky?
technically, no one unless it is like a government restricted airspace.
So it's just free. It's free. I could just take part of it.
I don't think you can enforce a boundary.
What if I like just say I bought this part of the sky, and if you come into it, I'm going to shoot a missile at you?
Well, that's what a no.
What if I
zone
bought
is.
missiles from the government and
Well,
made
are
a no-fly zone
are
around
you
my
the
property?
government?
No,
Then you can't buy missiles.
I could do it.
I mean, if you start a country and then
If
buy missiles,
if I
yes.
if I become a billionaire like Elon Musk rich,
Mhm.
and I'm just like I will pay whatever you want.
You could just have SpaceX build your own missiles. You don't need. To
Oh,
buy
that's
missiles.
yeah. What if I get missiles
Well, then you'll have missiles.
and I say I own the sky now or this part of it?
Well, then the government will probably march in and take your missiles.
Well, they can't
I think they could.
because I'll just shoot missiles if they can't, if they try to come
Yeah, but
take
then
them.
you'll be out of missiles, and they have more missiles than you.
Once I shoot
guaranteed.
all my missiles at them,
I think their missiles are faster than yours.
once they shoot all my missiles, once I shoot off all my missiles, then there won't be anything for them to take, and they won't care anymore, and they'll leave.
I don't think so.
I think that'll be how it works, and I don't see a problem with this plan.
No, because I think you'd be like accused of treason. So like,
It's
I think
not
you're still going
treason.
to jail.
I'm not doing. I'm just sitting with my missiles. I didn't do anything. It's like hoarding weapons. It's
If
like
you
who cares?
declare,
He's just got a lot of guns
if
just
you
in case.
declare a no-fly zone,
Above my, it's just above my house.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Remember, it's like that M. Night Shyamalan movie. Remember The Village?
Also, your missile would have to be able to get to the plane like before they exited your airspace.
I would shoot. Well, I'd have radar.
So it would
I'd
have
see
to be like a
coming, I'd
light
shoot it.
speed missile.
No, it wouldn't have to be light speed. I just have a radar. I'd see it coming. I just shoot it, and then when it gets
What
there,
if they get to your house? They go around, but your radar is already going. So
What do you mean, like they go around? Like the missile's coming right here, and they go like that?
No. Okay, so let's say this column is your airspace,
Yep.
right?
Sam's pointing straight up.
The plane's coming.
Yep, right above it.
The radar detects that there's a plane coming. The plane starts to turn because it knows that this is restricted airspace. But they get here, the missile's already launched because it thought it was going to go over, and it's a it's a targeted missile because they don't make non-targeted missiles. And you blew up a plane for no reason.
Well, if it's not in my airspace, it wouldn't hit it.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
If it didn't, then it wouldn't be able to hit.
Well,
anything.
I'd call them on my radio, be like, "Are you gonna fly? I'm in restricted airspace." If they go, "Yes," I'm going to avoid it. I'd be like, "Then we're cool, bud," and I'd leave them alone.
I don't think you can do that.
I think I can. Radios exist.
Yeah, but I don't think you have access to whatever channel that is.
What? Whatever channel that is.
The channel that the planes are on.
I just figure out whatever channel planes are on. I just ask like
Tucker,
the airline.
it's not a trucker. It's an airplane.
I just ask the airline.
You can't just go, 55, we dining tonight.
You know what? Then I'd like make a smoke signal or something. I'd be like,
what are you talking about? What are you even talking about right now?
They better fly
around. Smoke signal? What? You think the pilot of the plane is going to be like, oh, that's Tucker's smoke signal. I better not fly over
They know it's restricted airspace. They know it's restricted airspace. Why are they even coming near it?
How would they know that it's restricted airspace?
If they don't know, then the missile's going to hit them.
Okay, well, they're not going to know. So as soon as you do that, you're going to kill like 300 people. And then the government's going to come in and be like...
How does the government do it?
What do you mean, how does the government
How does the government... If you try to fly over government-restricted airspace, how do they notify the plane?
Okay, so number one, they communicate with the airlines ahead of time. Like, hey, we have a base here. Don't fly.
Okay, I would do that. I'd communicate. I'd be like,
they're
American
not
Airlines.
They're not going to take you seriously. You're one guy.
They will once one of the missiles hits one of their planes.
Okay, but like in order to do that, you would have to be a sovereign country.
No, I don't. I'm just like, I'm a private citizen. I have missiles pointed above my house. If you fly above it, I will shoot them.
I don't think stand my ground laws are that strong.
I don't think
stand my ground laws. Wait, hang on.
I think castle doctrine would apply.
They're not in your castle. They're miles above your castle.
Really tall.
All right. Anyway, yeah, this is what happens when you play the trailer for
this is a top 10
Rebel
riff.
Moon 2.
Top 10 riff of all time.
All right, we got the Penguin. What's the Penguin saying?
More Penguin
What's
stuff.
Colin Farrell up to? How's he? What's he doing?
This
right
had a
now?
whole panel. This was the only DC panel at Hall H.
You know what? I don't think Colin Farrell should have played Penguin.
Really?
I think they should have got a fat guy to do it.
You feel appropriated?
I mean, not really, but like I feel like there are definitely fat guys in Hollywood. Like
no, that's true.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know. Not anymore. It's becoming a rarity because of all those weight loss drugs they're taking.
Oh, yeah,
Ozempic's taking all the fats away.
Now Jack Black.
It's true. I think
Jack Black Penguin.
I think Jack Black, if he lost weight, would lose roles. Like I think him being like a big fat goofy guy is like his whole vibe.
What was the girl who played Fat Amy in that movie where they sing a cappella? Pitch Perfect. What's her name?
Rebel Wilson?
Yeah, she lost a bunch of weight and she still gets work.
But I feel like it would be too... Jack Black is just like iconic. Like he's been around for too long. It'd be weird. It'd just be weird to see him like as a regular...
He has lost some weight.
I mean, he's probably lost... I mean, he loses weight for roles and stuff. He's just like... He just never looks like he's never skinny.
Are there any other Hollywood fat guys?
I'm sure there are.
Can you think of
I can't name any off the top of my head.
I can't think of any.
Well, I can name like
Chris Farley's dead.
Yes,
also,
Chris Farley's
like
been dead.
20
That
years
was
ago.
30 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. He's the only other one I can think of.
I mean, they don't put a lot of fat people in movies.
We got to bring back that. We need more Hollywood fat guys. Not enough fat guys in Hollywood.
There's just not. We could do it. I'm willing to gain more weight. I'll eat more McDonald's if they need it.
Thinking. Do any of these movies got fat guys in them?
Any of these movies we have posters for? No, I don't think any of them did.
What about what's the name of the guy who plays Shrek?
Mike Myers?
He fat?
No.
Not fat enough.
None of these, yeah,
Well,
really, none of these have fat guys. Oh well, Jurassic Park does. He
Who's
plays Nedry.
Oh wait, Spider-Man. Where's
That's like
Spider-Man?
30 years
Spider-Man
ago.
has Ned. Ned's a fat guy,
Oh, that's true. But
There
I
you
think
go.
he's also lost weight.
but not that much.
Not that much.
I
What was
thought
the
he
point?
gained
What are
weight.
we even talking about? The penguin?
Yeah,
Right.
they need
You're
more fat
upset that
guys
it's
in
not a real
Hollywood.
fat guy. It's a guy in a fat suit.
Yeah,
But that's how you win Best Makeup Awards, is if you put a guy in a big fat suit.
that's true. But it's a TV show, so they're
They
like,
could win.
Who
an
are they
Emmy.
competing
Didn't
against?
they? Did they get? Did they win an Oscar for the Batman?
I don't think
They at least
so.
got nominated.
They got
for
nominated.
it. They probably should have won. That penguin makeup is insane. He does not
It's
look like
pretty cool.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
at
I didn't
all.
know that Colin Farrell was playing him until
Yeah.
after the movie.
It's insane. Anyway, this looks good. This had a panel. Matt Reeves is apparently working on more spin-offs for Batman stuff. They're looking at more ideas. They were going to do that Arkham show.
I'm
They
just
were going to do
like,
that Gotham Police show. Those both get canned.
I fear that this universe is rapidly approaching death.
Like, because of lack of audience interest or because of
No, there's
studio
plenty
oversight?
of audience interest. I think that the studio is not going to want to have two competing Batmans.
I do think they're probably just going to wait to do the DCU one until this wraps up. And I don't think this is going to go on for that long.
Wait that long.
If it takes this
He's
long to make
One of your two guys.
see it's next year, right? Is it next year when it comes? No, it's the year after. That's 4 years. It takes it's 8 years of the Batman stuff you got to wait through before you do yours.
Like, we'll be well into the DC. And Batman's
Yeah, we'll be like
one
5
of your
years
main
in. Yeah, you
dudes.
can't do that. You can't go that
Like, you
long
can't do
without it.
Justice League without Batman.
I don't think they're going to be doing Justice League
Like, at all.
that soon. I think they're going to wait a while.
I think they're going to do Avengers. How long did it take to go from Iron Man to Avengers?
4
years?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need Batman before that.
I think they're going to try to like have everyone forget the last time they tried to do Justice League before they do it again.
People have already forgotten. That was so long ago.
I mean, no one saw that movie.
2018 was 6 years ago.
Remember, we saw that movie when it came out.
Yeah, it was bad when it came out.
Mhm.
It's still bad. The Snyder Cut was better, but it's still not the best.
Anyway, so Colin Farrell also is officially coming back for the Batman Part 2. So more Penguin in that.
Yay.
And they officially gave this universe a name.
Oh, good.
This is now the Batman Epic Crime Saga.
That's a very
Or the-
stupid name.
Or the Tibbix. The Tibbix?
That actually might be the stupidest name out of all these universes.
Why don't they just call it the Batman universe? Or the Batman Saga? If you don't want to put universe in it, just to distinguish it, just call it the Batman Saga. TBS.
Or just call it like the
that's
Dark...
Turner Broadcasting
No, just do
Service.
like the Dark Arkham Saga.
That's dumber.
No, it isn't.
That's dumber.
Yeah,
just
it's
call it the
not.
Batman Saga.
No, that's not different enough.
Different enough from what? There's
From
not
the
another
Batman.
Batman Saga in it.
But there will be, and there has been,
And
like 5 times.
there was the Dark Knight trilogy, which is a different thing, and this is the Batman Saga. Boom, problem solved.
I don't think those names are different enough.
I think it's different enough. The Batman Epic Crime Saga is too different. You could have just called it even that. You could have just called it the Batman Crime Saga.
Yeah, it's the word. It's the fact that there's the word.
They added the
epic
word
in it.
epic. It sounds like
That's
it's
what makes it sound
like
cringe.
it's 1996 and they're trying to like give us a don't smoke PR
No,
campaign.
it sounds
and
like a
they'll never
clickbait
scoop.
thumbnail.
Batman
Batman
Epic Crimes.
Epic Crime Saga. Like it sounds like a clickbait.
It sounds like Batman's
YouTube
making
title.
like clickbait vlog videos. He's
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like
I
it sounds
solve a
cringe.
crime, gone epic.
Yeah. It sounds just cringe.
Anyway,
All right, what's up next?
there's a trailer
What
for
is a complete unknown?
this
What
is
does that
James
mean?
Mangold's Bob Dylan biopic with Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah. So what are you talking? What are you saying?
You know
right now?
Bob Dylan, the singer,
Yeah.
very famous guy,
Uh
getting a biopic
huh.
from Logan / Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny director James Mangold,
Oh.
and it
okay.
stars Dune's own Timothée Chalamet.
Look like Bob Dylan.
A little bit. He looks like him a little bit. I think they try to frizz up his
him up a
hair
little
and
bit.
stuff. I don't know. He looks a little squeamish. Be Bob Dylan, but Bob Dylan's a notoriously a real slim, skinny dude. So
I mean, they
this
got
does look pretty good. I like Mangold a lot as a director. He's made very good movies. I mean,
made
Indiana
Ford v
Jones.
Ferrari, Logan. Indiana Jones was a miss, but you know,
Indiana Jones was a miss, but I don't really blame him
that wasn't really
for
the
a lot of
directing.
that.
The directing for that movie was fine.
That was just a giant studio monster.
Yeah, the script was bad,
but
and conceptually, it was
he's
bad.
made good period piece movies. He's made good biopics before. He made Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash biopic.
Oh, okay.
So he's done this before.
Timothy Chalamet's very not. That's not his face.
I mean,
they have CGI'd his face a good.
You think so, or you think it's just makeup?
Well, I mean, maybe it's makeup, but his face don't look like that.
Really? I mean, I watched this when it came out. I haven't seen.
I mean, his chin kind of looks the same, but everything from like his mouth up is like that ain't not.
I mean, they've probably made him given him a little touch up to make him look more like Bob Dylan.
I mean, that's fine. I don't mind. That makes sense for the movie.
But yeah, no, this looks pretty good. I'm interested to see more. Not a lot of big awards contenders this year, or like big names, as we have in a couple previous years. So I'm interested to see if this can clean up during awards season. Timothy Chalamet, Best Actor, potentially. We'll find out. If there's one way to win Best Actor, it's being a mediocre music biopic from Searchlight Pictures.
I don't know if I care about music biopics anymore. I don't think I ever really did, to be honest.
Well, you're not a really big. I would say you're not really a music guy, but that's kind of true.
I mean, yeah, not really. Like, I mean, I listen to music, but like, I'm not really. I don't follow it the same way I follow like other stuff. Like, I don't really get into the weeds on like who's making what or like why or like who the big players are. Like, I don't really.
I think
it's not really something I'm into.
I think they can get pretty played out. I mean, they've been parodied to death.
They're all the same.
I mean, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. I mean,
they're all the same.
Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping,
and they all have the same like vibe. Like none of them are stylistically.
They all have the same.
Elvis
beats.
was a little different.
Elvis was different because the director was high on crack.
Yeah, but like they tried something different with Elvis.
Yeah, a little bit.
All the other ones are like the same. Like if you changed the names and the outfits of all of the musicians, it would be the same movie.
No, yeah, I think they're doing so many of them now just because it's the only way that these like directors can get anything made that's not like based on a brand, because the musician is the brand.
Yeah.
So they're
like
making so many of these now.
The Bob Marley one was so bad.
Oh, One Love, yeah.
One Love
I forgot that came out this year.
It was so boring.
It was not
so
great.
boring. Nothing happened in that movie, which is a shame because he was genuinely like
he's probably the most interesting one they've made stuff out of.
Yeah, because his story is I would argue from the ones that they've made the most different.
Yeah.
Like he's from a totally different background.
Yeah.
He had a totally different impact on the genre. He played a totally
different
kind of
impact
music.
on where he
had
was
a different
from.
impact on like
on global events,
global politics.
Yeah.
Like that's very interesting.
Which is different from like Freddie Mercury, which no shade to Freddie Mercury.
No shade to Freddie, but it's like he's not doing the same things.
He's a good singer. He wrote some good songs, and then he died.
He's not doing the same moves. He don't got the same motion.
Or Elvis. I mean, Elvis's burnout was a little bit more
massive,
public.
Like massive to a degree that I don't know we will ever see the likes of again. But again, different effect. He had a very his effect was that of a normal musician, just amplified. Whereas Bob Marley had this type weird of effect altogether.
Yeah, he was almost like a social symbol.
He was like a Anyway, do we have any other trailers, or is that it?
No, that's it. You looking forward to those 4 Beatles biopics we're getting in 1 year, Sam?
Nope, because boy, if it isn't the same movie 4 times
in a row, what if we literally made the same movie 4 times?
They sure will.
Except for 2 of them will die and 2 of them will live. Which 2?
Who knows? There's simply no way
What if they
of knowing.
changed it? What if they just like in the movie,
like as a plot twist?
It's their actual fact-based life story, and then at the end
they change who
dies.
And
at the end, Ringo Starr gets assassinated.
Yeah, and
John Lennon lives.
and then they continue. Like as if it's still historically accurate, like recanting the tales of a life that never happened.
Yeah. They just make stuff up about John Lennon as it goes.
All right, I think it's time to get into the real news.
Oh, Sam, this is
the real news.
Anyone who clicks on this video is clicking on it for this.
We're talking about the real stories, the stories you can't get anywhere else,
unless you get them from their actual original sources.
Michael Bay, director of Transformers.
Dark of the Moon.
And
Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2 and a bunch of other movies that are that movie, but with different colors.
He's made this... I was going to say, has Michael Bay ever made a good movie?
I
can't think of any. The Rock?
Did he make a movie called The Rock?
From 1995, was that him?
People like Bad Boys. I mean, Bad Boys 2 counts.
Bad Boys 2 is pretty bad. Bad Boys 1 is okay.
Yeah, but people like Bad Boys just in general.
The fourth one, I haven't seen the third one. The fourth one I liked. But he didn't do that one.
Any of them. But the first Transformers movie is pretty stupid.
That's true. It is pretty stupid.
I thought maybe it was good, and then I remembered it, and I was like, no, it wasn't.
No, I just remember Shia LaBeouf having like Tourette's or whatever.
Remember
or that might have been the second one.
Remember when Scorpio is swirling around in the desert?
I remember when Megatron was frozen in a big block of ice, and there was like magic glasses.
And he had his dad had magic glasses.
Yeah, because they were like.
Because Megatron looked at him funny, he looked at him scary, and it put lasers in his glass.
Not the greatest filmography now that I'm looking at it.
But boy howdy, is he the right man for this job. Because we are getting a Skibidi Toilet live-action film adaptation.
Michael Bay is teaming up with Paramount Pictures head Adam Goodman to develop film and TV treatments for the controversial web series.
Is it controversial?
Quote, we are absolutely in talks right now, both on the television side and on the earliest conversations right now on the film side, Goodman said. But it's not a be-all, end-all for us.
How do you make a movie out of this?
Well, the YouTube videos, as far as I'm aware, have a storyline.
There is a storyline. Do you know how many words there are in that storyline?
They all
do you know what the
speak
script
gibberish,
for that
right?
is?
They all just like...
They just sing the Skibidi Toilet song.
There's a song?
Yeah, the Skibidi Dub Dub Dub, yes, yes, that song.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about Skibidi Toilet.
It was a meme before, long before Skibidi Toilet. It's like this big fat dude like jiggles his stomach around and he sings that song. It was a meme from like 2018, 2019 or so. They took that song and they used it to make the first couple Skibidi Toilet videos, which are like, the toilets coming out of the heads coming out of toilets.
I'm aware their heads come out of toilets. And they, like, blow stuff up.
And they fight the cameramen.
Okay.
That's basically all the lore.
Well, that can be a movie.
There's, like, some...
Michael Bay has made
They
movies...
get into the weeds. Like, there's, like, oh, the Skibidi Toilets bought a bigger Skibidi Toilet. And then the cameramen bring a bigger cameraman. And it basically just does that
Michael
forever.
Bay has made movies with less plot lines before, Sam. I don't think you...
Has he?
I think so.
I don't think he has. I think there is more source material for every single thing he's ever done.
Oh, we're not talking about source material. I'm saying, like, he's made movies that are, like, more nonsensical.
Oh, yes, like his
last movie, Ambulance, was literally just about some guys driving an ambulance.
But I'm saying, like, the usual, like, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Bad Boys, like, those all had a lot more to base it off of than Skibidi Toilet does.
That is true. I mean, well, no, there is a lot of Skibidi Toilet.
Oh, there are, like, hundreds of episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, he's the right guy for the job.
No, if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be him.
Because those videos are just like explosions and toilets.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
How is he going to add butts? Because they don't have butts. How is he going to get some butts?
He'll make one of the cameramen a camera woman, and she'll be like sexy.
Do you think it's going to be like actual, like, how do you...
It's a zombie apocalypse movie.
But I feel like that would be...
It's a zombie apocalypse movie with the toilet guys.
But is it going to be like a live action head coming out of a cartoon toilet?
No, it'll be all like realistic.
Or do you think it'll be like a bunch of soldier guys and they're just going to be called like the Toilet Brigade?
It'll be realistic CGI and it'll functionally be a zombie movie.
That's going to look gross and like, and I don't want to look at it.
Yes, but do you remember how the Five Nights at Freddy's movie made $1 billion?
Yes, I'm aware of that. But also Five Nights at Freddy's was about like guys in suits or robots in suits and not toilet men.
It's impossible to know what Five Nights at Freddy's is about.
Okay.
Because the creator doesn't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is about.
At least Five Nights at Freddy's takes place in like reality.
Does it?
Or like the real world. Like
so does Skibidi Toilet.
There's ghosts and there's animatronic robots.
Skibidi Toilet takes place in the real world.
Okay, but Skibidi Toilet is filled with the characters are all toilet men.
So?
How do you can't make that
They're not the main characters. They're the enemy.
That's how you make a movie out of this.
Yeah. I mean, in the lore, they're the bad guys, but like also that's how you make them. That's how you would do this.
So are people the good guys?
Well, there are no people ever.
What are the cameramen?
Well, I don't know the lore. I think that humans built them to fight the toilets.
Are we gonna have to ask our iPad kid cousin?
I'm sure he'd be.
He probably knows.
I'm sure he'd be more than willing to explain it to us, but I don't know that I would understand what he's saying if he were to explain it.
They're making this movie for him.
He's the target audience.
He is the target audience.
Did you? There has been an interesting development in the story.
What's that?
Invisible Narratives Inc., which, as far as I'm aware, does have some connection to Michael Bay. Again, this is a developing story. Did send a cease and desist letter to Gary's Mod, telling them to remove Skibidi Toilet assets from their game. Now, do you know why that is really stupid?
Why is that?
So, do you know where the assets for Skibidi Toilet came from?
Probably a video game from like 1998.
More recent, but do you know what that video game is called?
What?
Gary's Mod.
Oh.
Yes, so the game they're from that game.
But I'm pretty sure they're
suing.
making a partnership with the...
No, so the assets...
So is the original creator
the
and the guy
assets-
making the YouTube video, is that a different guy?
So the assets for Gary's Mod are public. Anyone can use them for anything. That's
Yeah.
why if you've ever seen... They're called Gary's Mod videos, but people will take the characters and stuff from those games and like use them to make... You've probably seen them before, like YouTube poop type of videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Skibidi Toilet started as, was a Gary's Mod YouTube poop series, basically. The creator of Gary's Mod, those assets, is totally different than... I can't say the name on YouTube of the guy who does Skibidi Toilet, but it's
you
the
know.
Something Boom,
Yeah.
right?
So the Skibidi
Which is
Toilet
totally different.
web series is created by a guy named Alexei Gerasimov.
Yeah, that's the
He's
name
from
of the guy who owns
Georgia,
the channel, yeah.
not the state, the country. There's 24 seasons, 76 episodes. That's too many.
Well, they're all like 3 minutes long.
Okay, plot and characteristics. Should we just
Yeah,
dive in?
give me a rundown of the plot.
The series depicts a conflict between singing human-headed toilets, the titular Skibidi toilets, and the humanoids with CCTV cameras, speakers, and televisions in place of their heads. So
The cameraman and
this
the
will have
Skibidi
to be
Toilets.
animated, right?
No, it'll be live action.
And the Skibidi toilets led by G-Man, canonically G-Toilet.
G-Man is a character from, I believe he is from Half-Life.
Okay, well, it can't be now.
Gary's Mod is a Half-Life mod, by the way.
The Skibidi toilets led by G-Man threaten humanity. To counter them, the cameraman and speakerman form an alliance. Each kind has one member that is much larger, termed Titans. A toilet parasite infects the speaker Titan, leading it to turn it to the toilet's side. Later, TV-headed humanoids and their Titan are introduced, and with their help, the speaker Titan is broken free from mind control. The Titans convene to defeat the leader G-Toilet. I hate everything I've ever done. The Titans convene to defeat the leader G-Toilet and then the mastermind Scientist Toilet, but initially are fooled by a decoy. After a strike mission, the Scientist Toilet is finally defeated, but only one member of the crew survives. The one remaining member meets a mysterious human seemingly involved in the creation of the toilets.
So there are humans.
Apparently. Following the strike mission, the Titans clash with the G-Toilet. It escapes, leaving the cameraman and the speaker Titan severely damaged. Human survivors are discovered in the hideout, so I guess there's more than one.
Okay, so
The Astro Toilets, a rogue splinter group, arrive onto Earth, planning to destroy both the Skibidi Toilets and the Alliance.
Man, this is getting complicated. This is much more complicated than I.
The
was
show
initially
contains
led to
references to
believe.
video games, such as the character G-Man, whose name and likeness come from a Half-Life.
Yeah.
The cameramans oft perform dances are from the Battle Royale game Fortnite.
They do emotes.
Business Insider described the series as an endless arms race as both the toilets and their foes produce stronger fighters. Technology website Wired credited the largely dialogue-free nature of the show, removing language barriers and aiding in the show's global popularity. I mean, that's definitely true.
I didn't even think about that.
So it's been sued several times for
Copyright infringement.
Yeah. This is insane. Variety says
Have you ever
Skibidi
seen
Toilet
the Skibidi
is
Toilet video?
No.
You should watch one right now.
No.
You should watch the first episode.
I really don't
It's
want
30
to.
seconds long.
I don't
Just so
want
you
to.
understand like what it looks like.
I am aware of what it looks like.
Because you'll understand why it will be live action if you look at that. Just look at a thumbnail so you can see the art style.
This is never getting made, right?
This is getting made.
This is no way.
This would never have been made if Five Nights at Freddy's didn't make $1 billion.
Yes, but is this still gonna be a thing?
Yes.
In like a year? I mean, they're not.
Well,
this is not
no.
gonna get going for like 2-3 years.
It's not going to be relevant like pop culture wise, but it will revitalize that community. Because Tucker, you're forgetting about the most powerful force known.
Okay, because
to
I'm looking.
media.
So Variety made a chart of YouTube views for the channel who makes this as comparison to some other stuff. So it peaked in July of or like July of last year, May to June last year, and has since been on a steady decline. So
What is the most powerful force in media?
word of mouth?
Nostalgia. You give it a good 5-6 years to marinate. All those little 5-6-year-olds, they become 13, 14, 15-year-olds. They go, man, remember back in the day when we used to watch them Skibidi Toilet videos? Man, those were the days. Mom would make me a Pop-Tart. I pop open my iPad. I see the new Skibidi Toilet. Them's were the days. And then a movie. They go, Mom, remember Skibidi Toilet? She goes, yes, Timmy, I told you to stop watching those. They go, well, you know what, Mom? I'm 14 now. I can watch Skibidi Toilet. And we're going to see the PG-13 Skibidi Toilet movie tonight.
And I won't be able to sit through it because my attention span is 25 seconds.
And I won't be able to watch it. But
I'll have to look on, I'll have to get on my phone.
Anyway.
I'll have to get on my phone.
Do you think it'll have like Subway Surfers footage like on the sides of the screen?
That would be amazing. There was when we saw Deadpool and Wolverine, there was a guy in front of us Googling the cast of the movie
like
as the movie was going on. I'm like, dude, just wait 5 minutes.
They will tell you everyone in the movie at the end. There's this crazy thing called credits. It's been a thing since movies.
No, I think he was Googling it to figure out like who the cameos were. But like, you're already in the movie.
Just watch it.
Why do you need to know?
Why are you spoiling it as you're watching it?
And for whoever's, sitting next to you who's going to see you looking on your phone now. Anyway, people are weird and do dumb things.
Which is why this movie's going to make $1 billion.
Exactly. It's not going to make $1 billion.
It's not going to make $1 billion. But it will make money. Because Michael Bay makes movies for $20 a pop. And this movie, they don't have to pay for basically anything. I mean, I'm sure they're paying the YouTuber $10K for the story, but that's basically it.
There's so many. Got a whole Wikipedia article. This is the worst of humanity.
I don't think that's true.
This is the worst thing our culture has ever produced.
I don't think that's true either.
What's worse than this?
We produced Agent Orange.
I said our culture, not our military.
I think we've produced worse.
What?
We've produced a lot of things.
A lot of things. In the last 30 years.
In the last 30 years.
Has anything worse ever been produced than Skibidi Toilet?
Is Skibidi Toilet different than Ugandan Knuckles?
Yes.
In what way?
Ugandan Knuckles was slightly less brain rot.
Was it?
A little bit.
I think it was more brain rot. Because, it didn't even have a story. It was just some guys who would go, do you know the way? Take me to the queen. And that was it. That was it. There was nothing else.
I'm biased. I think I'm just biased.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. These kids are going to grow up.
Didn't they, in Sonic 2...
Looking at it that way.
In Sonic 2, Knuckles said that, right?
I think he did.
I don't remember. He went
I think he did, but he didn't say it in, the accent.
No, of course he's not going to say it in Ugandan accent.
But he should have said it. He should have spoken a Ugandan accent the whole movie.
Yeah.
That would have made it 10 times better.
Well, those were the days, Ugandan Knuckles. Anyway.
Yeah, see? Those were the days. Mom, make me a Pop-Tart. I watch Ugandan Knuckles on YouTube.
What's Mom making so many Pop-Tarts?
Because
our mom never made us Pop-Tarts.
I don't know. We didn't even eat Pop-Tarts.
No.
Anyway, let's move on to the next story. Apple TV Plus finally realized that it doesn't make any money.
So, according to a report from Bloomberg, Apple executives are pushing for the heads of the studio to rein in the budgets of their numerous streaming projects in order for the service to be sustainable in the long term. Well, Apple spends far more on original projects than any other streamer. Reported a combined $500 million on Napoleon, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Argyle, as well as $250 million on just the series Masters of the Air alone.
What on earth is Masters of the Air?
That was their World War II fighter pilot show with Austin Butler. I think Spielberg was a producer on it.
They made an Austin Butler World War II.
It was the
show.
same. It was the same team. Remember Band of Brothers, the HBO show? It was the same team from that, but it was about pilots. The service attracts fewer views per month than Netflix does in a single day.
This doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Nielsen reports that Apple accounts for 0.2% of US TV views, which dwarfs in comparison to the 8% that Netflix generates.
That's crazy that Netflix is 8%.
As part of the goal to reduce spending, the service will license more content from third-party providers and has delayed production on several series like Foundation in order to meet monetary goals. Bloomberg states that Apple has to date spent over $20 billion on content for the service since it launched in 2019. $20 billion.
$20 billion on this?
They're spending $50 million on the cast for the morning show.
$20 billion on this?
Mm-hmm.
They only made 2 shows. How'd they spend $20 billion on this?
Well, how many billions is it? That shows you how many billions Apple has to waste. How
did they have that much money to waste?
How much do you have? You have to have more money than God has ever seen to not stop thinking about your financial decisions until you're $20 billion in the hole.
Oh, when did Apple TV Plus come out?
2019. It's been 5 years.
$1 billion a year.
I still don't understand what the end goal is.
How are they spending $2 billion a year? What were they spending that on? Okay, let's assume every show they made was 100.
That's $4 billion a year.
That's what I said.
You said 2.
Oh, I meant 4. I said 4 initially. I don't know why I rounded it down to 2. If they're spending $100 million per show,
usually sometimes more than that, but sure.
But we'll say average because some are probably less.
Yeah, some are probably cheaper.
They would have to make 1,000 shows to spend $1 billion.
I don't know. Well, I'm guessing the 20 billion is including like.
On that?
I'm guessing the 20 billion is including the marketing costs of stuff. Do I need to break out a calculator? For
$1 billion is 1,000 millions. They have to make every 10 shows. Okay, never mind. I guess if every show is $100 million, then that's about
doing all right. You having a stroke over there?
I guess that's about right if they're making 10 shows.
They're making a lot of shows. I mean, they have something coming out like every week.
And then there's like R&D and like.
No, I'm guessing the 20 billion is including marketing costs too.
But other than Ted Lasso, what did they market?
I mean, I see. It's probably just because like I'm always watching stuff about movies and shows so like my algorithm is feeding me ads for things.
But I've never seen an ad for an Apple TV series that wasn't when the platform launched. They did a lot of ads for the shows on there.
Yeah.
And Ted Lasso. That's it.
I don't see a lot.
We were in the Apple store today. The only thing that they had advertising Apple TV was Ted Lasso. That was it.
I don't understand what the end goal is. Like, at what point do they consider this like mission accomplished? Because you have to spend so much on this to have it keep going.
I don't know. I don't understand.
I think it might just straight up be like it's just tech companies trying to monopolize every industry, and
they didn't even try.
Movies and TV are next.
They didn't even try to compete.
They somewhat did.
They went for the awards play, which was a bad play to begin with. But they didn't try to compete on volume. They didn't try to compete on. I guess they sort of tried to compete on.
They tried to compete on quality,
but not really, because they were still.
No, I think they definitely were trying to make good stuff, because they went out and they got a bunch of like a very prestige, very solid track record filmmakers. And
now they
TV creators.
They were trying to compete on price
because it was cheap. I think it's still like $7.
The shows that you got, it was like 3 shows.
They didn't have volume.
Let's assume you watched Ted Lasso, because everyone with it watched Ted Lasso. That's the only show people watched on there. Let's assume you watched Mythic Quest, because that's the best show on the second best show on there.
They say Morning Show is their big hit.
And then let's say you watch Morning Show. So they have 3 shows.
Mm-hmm.
After you watch those, you're done.
Well, they have like movies and stuff, but I think it's just tech companies trying to just get into literally every aspect of like your life.
I guess because like Google sort of tried this with YouTube, the initial version.
They tried
to
do YouTube Red, yeah.
Where they had like
Rhett and Link make shows.
They had Rhett and Link make a show. They had MatPat make a show. They had Cobra Kai on there.
Yeah, Cobra Kai was originally.
PewDiePie's show never came out.
But I don't understand.
I don't know.
At what point is this considered a success?
I think it's just when it makes money, but there's no way that this is ever made money.
The amount they're spending on it just can't.
Look up how many subscribers they have.
I don't think they report it,
but there's probably someone who's
I know they have the highest level of churn.
Yeah,
so they have the most people subscribing for a month and then leaving.
Like, let's just get a rough estimate.
Subscribers. 25 million.
So 25 million.
As of March 2020.
Okay. 25 million times. What's the price of the service? $7? $8?
I think it's $7 now.
$7. So $140 million a month coming in.
That's nothing. That's less than what they're spending on one show.
So that's a month. What's that?
And they don't have ads.
Times 12.
So they're not making ad revenue.
14 times 12.
I can't do math in my head on the spot.
That's 8.
Oh, dog's back.
Oh, podcast dog.
168.
168?
14 times 12.
Okay, so they're making 168 million a year. Yeah. 168 million a year. There's no way that... Oh, wait, no. Hang on, let me do the math again. Oh, my phone's over there.
Okay, I'll do the math. We can't do math. This is
do
really
math.
revealing. So we have...
Tina.
Oh, she unplugged it. Hello.
We were paused. Okay.
So by my estimate, Apple TV Plus is generating like $2 billion a year.
$2 billion a year?
Yeah. So they've made...
So if it ran for...
So they've made half as much as they've spent.
No, because they spent $20 billion.
Yeah.
So they've
$2 billion
made a tenth of what they have spent.
$2 billion times 5.
Oh, you're talking over the whole time.
I'm talking, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So they've made... And that they've made less because they didn't have 25 million.
To start. But like, assuming did,
roughly
they would have been...
They have made...
Losing twice as much as they made.
Yes. Which is crazy.
That's so stupid. Why would you do that for so long?
You know, the world's got a lot of problems. And money could solve a lot of them. And maybe instead of making the TV show Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal, like,
maybe
we
should
build some homes for some poor children. Like, I know that doesn't help Apple, but like, neither did making the show Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal.
But if you build a house for, let's say...
You know what? If you build a house and it has internet access for a poor family,
dude,
they can use Apple products.
They'll buy Apple products.
You know what making the show Loot with Maya Rudolph does? Nothing.
Gives Maya Rudolph a job.
It just gives Maya Rudolph money. And she doesn't need it. She's fine.
She can go back to SNL anytime.
She's definitely getting paid more. She's going to do...
She's going back already.
Is this the episode? I think this is the first episode we recorded since they switched them out, by the way, the candidates.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Which
yeah,
I
we made
called
that
on the
joke
last episode
that they were going to do that.
They were going to do that, and they did. So...
We called it, again, another McDonCast dub.
Put it on our...
We don't stop winning. We never stop winning. The biggest call of my career...
I had a big call last episode, too.
Yeah, we'll get there that's the last...
Yes.
That's the last story of the week. But, is that it for Apple? I don't have much else to say about Apple.
It's nuts. I mean, I don't think this is going to be around for that much longer.
All right, let's talk about The Boys. And
Sam,
we love The Boys.
We love The Boys. Everyone loves The Boys. Well, I hope you really super love The Boys because you're getting more.
They keep making shows. They should call it The Orphanage.
What?
They got so many boys in an orphanage.
Just because you have a lot of boys doesn't make it an orphanage automatically.
They got so many boys.
But that doesn't make it an orphanage.
Well, what else is it? Like a soccer team?
The football team. They should call it the football team.
The football team, but the orphanage is better.
Jensen Ackles and Aya Cash are returning to star in and produce a new spin-off prequel series titled Vought Rising, in which they will reprise their roles as Soldier Boy and the Soup known in the modern day as Stormfront. Paul Grelog, Boy's executive producer, will serve as head writer and showrunner. Quote, it's a twisted murder mystery about the origins of Vought in the 1950s, the early exploits of Soldier Boy, and the diabolical maneuvers of a Soup known to fans as Stormfront, who was then going by the name Clara Vought. They said, adding, we cannot wait to blow your minds and trouble your souls with the salacious, grisly saga drenched in blood and Compound V. Period piece Boys stuff. I could see...
Right.
I don't really want to follow these characters. I know Soldier Boy is really popular. But
I don't care.
Both these people are terrible, and I don't really want to root for them.
I don't understand how they're supposed to be the main characters.
I'm guessing they won't be. I'm guessing they will just be big characters in it. There's going to be some human...
I think it's just going to be the boys, but in the 50s.
Times. Yeah, just doing more espionage.
And it's just going to be a team of the boys, but they fight...
Because the thing is you can't focus on the Soup characters, because the Soup characters don't do anything.
Well, wait a minute. MM's dad, wasn't he around during this time?
I guess. Yeah, he could probably show up.
He could be on the team.
We could see some elderly relatives of some of the eventual The Boys members.
Isn't that awesome?
That's. I mean, I'm guessing Mallory's around?
I've always wanted to do that.
It might be too early for Mallory. Grace.
The
But I think she might be too young.
ancient.
Yeah.
She'd be like a baby if she was.
She was like 20 something in Vietnam. That was the 60s.
So this is World
This
War
is the 50s.
II.
This is right after World War II.
Yeah, so I mean, she'd be around, but she'd be
a kid. Yeah, I do like the idea of doing like parodying corporate America in like the 1950s, because that's a really fun time for like advertising and as like an aesthetic. That's a really fun idea.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's as much commentary
you could do, because the complete multi-billion-dollar conglomerate
that didn't exist.
Yeah, globalized corporation did not exist.
And like
in the
we
1950s.
had antitrust laws that like existed, so like companies couldn't even get that big.
Well, it was
literally
just
impossible.
I mean, you just in that current like climate, you couldn't.
Because big oil tried and the railways tried, and then they were like no, and then they didn't do it.
Oh yeah, also that, and just like geopolitical tensions were so fraught.
Yeah,
in the
geopolitical
1950s.
tensions were extremely high.
Yeah,
like market competition was a totally different.
It was a totally different animal.
It was a totally different atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like they actually had to compete with each other back then. So you
couldn't do that now.
Yeah, the type of commentary
because like what they're doing now is like
same.
VOT is like a mix of like Disney and Amazon and like like Apple.
They're a parody of corporate America.
Yeah, they're just generally like corporate America, but like I mean Disney was just an animation house in the 1950s. Amazon didn't exist. There's no like corporate
technology
what
does this company
like Apple
do at this point in time?
I'm guessing they started off it's pharmaceutical stuff, so it'll be
pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, because that's what they were doing.
Yeah,
originally.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Because the Compound V, that's what they started out as, just doing a pharmaceutical company stuff. But I don't know. I can only do so much of The Boys.
Yeah, I'm honestly I'm good on The Boys. Like I barely have any motivation to finish the show as is. Like not season 4, but I mean the show in general.
I mean, it's not because the show is bad. It's just because I don't want to be in that world that often.
Yeah,
it's not a good place to spend your time.
It has the same problem as Cyberpunk, where sometimes it's hard to watch because you're like, oh, man, that's a thing that's happening, and it could get this bad if it keeps going.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like. It's the grubby, just kind
it's a
of
very gross world.
It's just a gross place, and so it's not one where I'm like, yay, we get to go see more boys stuff. You don't have a craving
to be in that world the same way that like
I like the characters,
Marvel or Star Wars. Something
I like the characters in The Boys, but I don't want to like hang out in The Boys world. I never want to live in that. I never want to go to that reality. Yeah, it seems like a nightmare all the time.
Yeah, it does not seem like a fun place.
This is the latest The Boys spinoff. The 5th and final season is currently 2 months into the writing process. Showrunner Eric Kripke revealed that Jensen Ackles will return as a series regular in the final season, so Soldier Boy is going to be around the whole time. They're going to focus a lot on the father and son relationship between Homelander and his father.
That's good.
Ackles said that Soldier Boy's primary goal in the 5th season will be to kill Billy Butcher. Final season premieres some point in 2025. They're going to shoot it next year. Gen V Season 2 is currently shooting. That's going to come out first in 2025. Sorry, what year is it right now? Is it 2024?
2024.
So Boys Season 4 will be 2026. Gen V Season 2, 2025. Just to be clear.
Okay.
Chase Crawford is going to appear as the Deep on Gen V Season 2. More Deep stuff. And then they also officially confirmed that The Boys Mexico is in the works by executive producers Diego Luna and Gael Garcia Bernal. This is becoming the thing they were parodying.
What even is The Boys Mexico?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's The Boys, but the Mexico versions.
What's the name of the CEO of VOT?
Well, it's Homelander.
Giancarlo Esposito.
It's
what's his name in the show?
I forget.
It doesn't matter. Does that character have any relatives?
No.
Okay. Pitch.
He won't.
Pitch. Secret twin.
It's a secret twin. A guy named Gustavo
Fring. Mm-hmm. Secret twin. It's all in the Breaking Bad universe.
Gustavo Fring had a brother.
Yeah, but that wasn't a biological
killed.
Brother, right? I thought that was like just a friend. Was that his biological brother?
I think it was his brother, yeah.
Secret twin. There were 3, actually.
There were 3 of them, and 2 of them looked the same, but not the third one.
And 2 of them looked... Well, they weren't triplets.
Can you have identical triplets? You can, right?
I think so. Yeah, no, I think triplets are more common than
I know that because there's a documentary called 3 Identical Strangers about that.
But no, I'm saying like they had 1 kid and then 2 twins. So they aren't triplets. There is twins in the family.
Sure.
And Gustavo Fring.
Gustavo Fring is one of them, and this is a secret Breaking Bad sequel series.
Yeah.
I'd be down with that.
Dude,
if he's going to keep playing Gustavo Fring and everything, you might as well just have him play Gustavo Fring.
Walter White didn't die. Actually, he survived. Okay. And he is now lacing the meth with Compound V. And it's giving people super highs. Where they get high on meth, and they also get superpowers for like 5 seconds.
This
sounds like something that would be in The Boys.
This sounds like something that like Netflix would make in 10 years if they're really desperate. They're just crossing over things that do not go together at all. I don't know. The boys are doing meth.
Yeah, I mean those shows could not tonally be more different, but like, it'd be funny. Anyway, is that it for the boys news? Do we have any other? Is that Boys in Espanol? Is that the final?
It's Boys in Espanol. It's boys in the 50s.
Boys in the 50s and boys
speaking Spanish.
In Mexico.
Also, everyone in the nothing that important can happen in this show in the prequel.
I think. Oh, the prequel, yeah, because
everyone lives. Everyone makes it around to the present day, and if anything important had happened, we would have heard about it at this point.
Unless Vought maybe like covers something up or something, and then they reveal it.
But this will also come out after The Boys ends, so
yeah. So they can't even do anything that might get revealed in The Boys,
because at least Gen V can they introduce the virus.
Yeah, they can tee stuff up. Yeah,
because it's the same time period.
I don't know.
Yeah,
this is really dumb. Boys Mexico. I have no idea. I don't even know. I don't know what the point of that is.
Do you want to finally talk about Comic-Con Marvel stuff
now? Let's talk about Comic-Con.
So Marvel had 2 panels. One of them was they just screened Deadpool, and then they walked out all the cameos in it. They were all there, which was weird. But that was pretty much it. They had a drone show, and then the next one was their normal. We're going to talk about a bunch of things.
The big we reveal all the things.
They did not announce anything new, and most of the panel was pretty boring. He did not do the PowerPoint thing. Yeah.
No PowerPoint. I was disappointed.
I love the PowerPoint. I think it's just because he didn't have anything to announce, so he would have just shown a bunch of stuff we knew about, and then it went away.
That's fine. I mean, I would like an updated list of when things are coming out, since those dates are
good for the next year
for like a million years.
We're good for the next year, except for Blade, and Blade is never coming out.
Blade is not getting made.
No. So the first thing they talked about was Captain America: Brave New World. They showed some footage exclusive to attendees. It was footage of President Ross giving a speech at the White House, and then he turns into the Red Hulk and hulks out and smashes some stuff. Giancarlo Esposito is revealed to be playing Gustavo Fring. Seth Volker,
who is a different character,
aka Sidewinder, the leader of the Serpent Society. Except for he's not a big snake man. Because we see in the trailer, he's just a guy.
Maybe he gets snake powers at the end?
No, I have a feeling the Serpent Society is just going to be some dudes in some trench coats with guns, and they're just going to be called the Serpent Society.
Oh.
If you're going to do the Serpent Society, make them big snake men.
At least one of them has to be a snake.
Make at least one big snake man.
Or at least dressed as a snake.
Remember when they announced them being in a movie as a joke?
Yeah, and then it was 10 years ago. War.
But now they've run out of ideas, and so they have to do the Serpent Society. Captain America does not have a lot of villains to do, so this is just kind of one of them.
All his villains were from the 1940s and 50s.
He's got Red Skull. Then
he went into the ice, and then he came back to life way later. All his villains were dead.
He's got Adolf Hitler.
That's a pretty big villain.
He's got Red Skull. He's got Zemo. He's got Arnim Zola. He's got the Serpent Society.
I think they've done literally his whole Rogues Gallery.
They kind of have. Most of them are just Hydra guys. They usually just do some work for Hydra.
He fights Hydra. That's his thing.
But yeah, and Serpent Society, how do you really do that in any way that's not just some evil guys?
You just have them be a group for hire, I think.
Just some assassins.
Yeah.
We know the main...
They do the 10 rings, basically.
The mastermind in this movie is going to be the leader. That's pretty clear. He's your...
Do we know who's playing the leader?
Yeah, it's Tim Blake Nelson, the same guy who played him in Incredible Hulk.
In Incredible Hulk?
He wasn't the leader, but he's in that movie before he... At the end of the Incredible Hulk, his mind starts becoming real big.
Oh, okay.
And so at this point, he'll be the leader.
So that'll be the record then. Longest, tease till tee up.
He will then be because the current longest tenured MCU cast member is Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan.
Well, no, I mean like the longest.
I know,
like,
longest tee up to pay off, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering because like at that point he will have been in the MCU longer than everyone else, I think. Because that's 2008 to 2025.
Sort of.
MCU, not other stuff.
Well, no, I'm saying we're gonna. There's a guy who has been in longer.
That's true. Yeah. I mean,
We'll
it's
get
in
there.
the news.
I mean, we can just. Do we want to talk?
Well,
about
no,
that
we'll get to
now?
that last. We'll get to because that was the big like.
Yeah.
And then they also said the movie will finally address Arishem, the Celestial, being frozen in the ocean.
They are Arishem's the red one.
Whoever one is the one that's
Tiamat
frozen.
is the one who's
sure,
frozen.
that one. He's also going to have adamantium in him, and that's what everyone's going to be fighting over.
All right.
And I called that on the last episode, and you told me I was stupid for thinking.
Well, no,
it.
I said that he was made of marble.
Well, nope, he's got adamantium
Maybe
in
his
him.
bones are adamantium.
I guess Cersei made him adamantium,
or maybe she can't change adamantium, and so like he had adamantium in him, and she just can't change it.
I guess. No, I called that. I was like, there's got to be a way for them to get a sizable big chunk of this stuff into this universe, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, my question was, if there is adamantium in them, why don't the Guardians of the Galaxy have? Because they have nowhere.
Maybe
which
it's
is a
in
celestial head, so they should have it.
Maybe they do.
I mean, it is a skull.
Because nowhere is
bones,
big hollowed
I
out
guess they're
skull.
made of adamantium. What is?
Because they're mining its like brain fluids for. That's what we see in the first movie.
Yeah, so we know its brain is not adamantium.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the bones then.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they have adamantium. They just don't mention it.
That seems like a thing that would be important to have.
Well, it's probably not as rare in outer space.
Why wouldn't it be?
Probably a lot of dead celestials floating around out there.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know. Maybe they just don't care. Where is vibranium from? Is that from a special planet?
It's from a meteorite.
I know it's on Earth from a meteorite, but is there like a planet with a bunch on it?
I think it's just in space, outer space.
Okay, well if that meteor is from outer space, I'm sure there's more chunks of vibranium in space. So that strong metal is probably not that rare.
Yeah, maybe. Oh.
There's also a character who we know can just make anything into anything else. So if they really,
but that's only Cersei. And if there is adamantium in the Celestial, then she can't change
There's
that.
a bunch of Cerseis. Remember the
yeah,
Celestials made all those robots.
Cerseis that I
because they were
about.
robots the whole time.
Right.
By the way, Kevin Feige did an interview and he said there are no plans to do an Eternals sequel.
Yeah, don't say why not? That movie was.
He did a lot
banger.
of press. He said a lot. He said quite a few things actually. He said they are officially doing a Nova thing that's going to be a show.
I will say, I think Eternals
doing
did
another
have
special
the best
presentation
effects for a speedster character of any like theatrical speedster character we've seen.
It's competing with
the Flash
and Quicksilver.
Yeah,
Quicksilver looks pretty cool in the X-Men.
Quicksilver is pretty cool. He has that one cool scene. I like how she pretends not to know how to open doors whenever there's people nearby.
She does that all day.
She knows how to open doors, and she pretends like she doesn't.
She will open doors to enter the room,
but she'll be like,
and then
shy
she will
about
pretend that she can't to get out. And I'm like, I've seen you do it.
What were we talking about? Their Celestials or robots? Yeah, I think that the effects are, I don't even remember what her name was, but the fast one. I think those were the best speedster effects we've seen in a movie. Makari?
I think so.
I don't remember. But like, you know, when she's like zooming over mountains and like jumping over them, and then there's that one scene where she's fighting the dude and she like hits him really fast from like all the different sides. It's pretty cool. I like the effects in the movie. The movie is just really bad.
Yep. Then they rolled out Thunderbolts. They had the whole cast there. They were like, this is an irreverent team-up romp of a bunch of mismatched characters who don't work well together, even though they're all just Captain America. They all have Captain America powers.
So they're Guardians of the... I can't say Globe because that's a team, different franchise, but the Guardians of
Earth.
Of America.
They're crappy Suicide Squad.
They're the Suicide Squad, but on Earth only.
I mean, it's kind of amazing that Marvel is this late to the Suicide Squad ripoff, and also that it's this much worse.
Why are they doing Suicide Squad when they had Guardians of the Galaxy, which
Suicide Squad was made to rip off? Yeah,
we're like 3 chains down in the ripoff here.
I don't know. Maybe it was just to make James Gunn upset, but like, this is gonna be worse than his movie.
Why would it make James Gunn upset?
Because he made that Suicide Squad movie when he left Marvel, but they also did that.
But then they hired him back anyway.
They did that just because he was fired from there. So.
And then they hired him back anyway, so it didn't even matter.
But now he's gone for good.
Yeah, but he's not.
No, I don't. This is a weird thing to do, and It would make more sense if they had built up like some villains to use, but they don't have any interesting ones.
Maybe
Red Hulk should be on the team.
or the
Like
villain.
then you got a guy with powers there. Like everyone here is just a boring person with
Red
a
Riot,
gun and who runs kind of
not Red
fast.
Riot.
Red
Soviet
Guardian?
Red Guardian has powers,
But they're just the Captain America powers.
but he has powers.
Yeah. Winter Soldier does too.
Ghost has powers. Winter Soldier sort of has powers.
has the Captain America powers. And then
That's it.
there's a Black Widow.
But that she has no power.
And then there's Taskmaster,
Who sort of has
who just
powers,
does kung fu really
kinda.
good.
But
Just
like
does-
not even as good as a Black Widow. So like
Yeah,
not that
or
good.
to that same level. So it's not any better or worse than anyone else on the team.
Yeah, like nothing. She's not bringing anything special.
And then U.S. Agent, who just also
Is
has the
also
Captain America
Captain
powers. Yeah, they're just all Captain America.
They
like,
should not have introduced the like
put-
new super soldier series.
Put Red Hulk on the team, right? Like then you get a Hulk guy. I don't know, freaking dig Loki
Maybe
back
he
up.
is on the team,
Maybe
and they are gonna introduce.
they're
that
hiding
in-
it.
Yeah, they're gonna
Just
introduce
until
that
Brave
in
New World comes
in
out.
Brave New World.
I mean, that would
Because
be
whatever the
slightly
villain,
more interesting.
whatever the villain of Thunderbolts is, will be introduced in Brave New World.
Be Sentry. It's not.
It's not gonna be Sentry.
It is Sentry. It's Sentry we already know is in the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. How do you make it?
They
Sentry?
rolled out the guy playing him at Comic Con. It was like he's playing a guy named Bob, and I'm like, he's
Yeah,
playing
okay.
Sentry. Just say he's playing. Everyone knows it
Yeah, because he got recast.
because they had to recast the role because Stephen Yin wasn't available.
He was doing Invincible.
How are these guys not just gonna get immediately murdered by Sentry?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Like they'll just get killed.
Like, Sentry is like
He's Superman
arguably the strongest character,
or
who
one
isn't
of.
like a. Well, no, he is literally a cosmic entity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't under. You can't fight him. It doesn't work like that.
Well, they're doing the old like Suicide Squad v Superman thing, but like they don't have anyone because at least the Suicide Squad has like, depending on the roster, you'll have like a Polka Dot Man who's pretty powerful,
Yeah.
right? You'll have a Killer Croc who's a big crocodile guy. Deadshot is like got super specialized
But
weapons.
you don't need to fight Sentry because the way Sentry works is the more he uses his powers, the stronger his like I don't remember what it's called, but the beast thing that is his like alternate half gets.
Mm-hmm.
That's his like power check. That's what keeps him from being just Superman. Is he doesn't want to use his powers because it means that the monster gets stronger. Like, you don't have to fight him. He's gonna, if you leave him alone, he just won't do anything.
I don't know, but they played footage at the convention. Apparently, it was a scene of Yelena Belova going up to Red Guardian and being like, "The only thing I'm good at is doing murders, and it makes me sad." And then the other footage was all of the Thunderbolts are sent on a mission individually, and then they all run into each other, and they're like, "What's going on? Why are we all sent on the same mission?"
Oh, so it is.
They're literally doing the Suicide
Squad.
Squad. Yeah, in the comics, I think they even have the bombs in their head, but they're not doing that.
Yeah,
in
they're
this.
not doing that in this one.
And then also Bucky Barnes is apparently going to be a congressman at this point. He'll be in Congress. Don't know how that was allowed. He killed a lot of people. Kind of like real members. I'm just kidding.
Like a lot of them. Like he like killed like American heads of state.
Yeah. Don't really
I don't
know why
think
that's allowed.
I don't think you can do that. I think that's a thing you can't do.
Mhm.
Would he be the ambassador to Wakanda maybe because he lived there for a while?
No, he's the White Wolf.
Sorta, kinda.
They called him that one time.
At one time and it pay off at all.
No, because they were just like Winter Soldier's a fine code name. We'll just call him that.
Yeah, that is a cooler code name anyway. Like that's basically the same code name functionally. Winter.
I think
Wolf,
they were just concerned
no.
about having a character with the name White in his name.
They could have just not called him that at all. That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't have.
Then
to
he
do
would
that.
have literally. I think there's a joke about that in Falcon Winter Soldier, isn't there? About him being named White Wolf.
I think so. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
anything
yeah.
that happened in
Because
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon goes like, "What are you, the White Panther?" And then he's like, "White Wolf," actually. And
Oh,
he's like,
yeah. But again, we never saw him do anything.
He should be in the Captain America movie. Why is he in this?
Because
I mean,
Is he not
I
in
like
the Captain
Bucky.
America
I like
movie?
Sebastian Stan.
is he not in Captain
No.
America? Like even as a cameo?
No, he's only in Thunderbolts.
Seems
It seems weird.
seems not correct.
Because there's not like any of the old Captain America supporting cast.
Well, because see, we did Falcon and Winter Soldier, where it was a whole show about how they became best buds.
Yes.
And then in the follow-up movie,
He's not in it.
He's just gone,
Yeah.
and he's hanging out.
Well,
with
Falcon's
these,
new cool
he's hanging
sidekick.
out with these like 10 unrelated guys.
Falcon's new sidekick is new Falcon.
Oh yeah,
Captain America's got
forgot
new
about
Falcon. Yeah.
He already had Bucky.
He doesn't really need him if he's got the wings too.
I don't think he needs a sidekick.
He doesn't. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, like Steve Rogers' Cap didn't have the wings. He was just running around on the ground.
Yeah, so like
So he's got an air support guy, but now they're both in the air.
You don't need them.
I mean, I guess Falcon has guns and Captain America doesn't.
Also, there's nothing stopping the government from just mass producing those things.
Yeah, they could just make 1 million Falcons and just shoot them all out all over the place.
They made that suit. They could just make another one.
There was more. Because there was like a paratrooper thing, and there was more than one in the universe.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that's what this guy is, but like, I'm confused why they don't just be like, all right, well,
There's an entire squadron.
This is
of Falcons.
clearly effective. Let's make more of these.
Just keep doing it.
All right. I think is that it.
Okay. Then they rolled out Fantastic Four, which they gave a new title. It's the Fantastic Four First Steps.
It did not need a subtitle.
It doesn't. Just call it the Fantastic Four.
The next one you can subtitle. The first one, just leave it as it is.
And I know there's 2 movies called Fantastic Four already, but no one wants to remember those. So we'll just pretend they don't exist.
Stick, and then there's Fantastic Four, but it's too old, so no one cares.
Well, the first technically was just Fantastic Four. You call it the Fantastic Four, it's a different movie.
Yeah, we know that adding a "the" makes a difference.
That's right.
We've been conditioned at this point to understand that.
See the Batman or the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad
"the" makes it different.
They did that like 5 years after the first one.
Yeah, it wasn't even that
They
long.
didn't even wait 20 years.
It confused a lot of people.
Yes, most people don't know that movie's a different movie.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's a lot better.
Because it's way better. Yeah. Anyway, then they just started shooting this week. They showed some like test footage stuff that was like 4x3. Got a look at the alternate reality retro future 1960s look. We saw some of them in their spacesuits. We saw some footage of Reed Richards like teaching a science class.
Yeah, we saw Galactus looking through a window.
Galactus's head peeks through a window.
And I don't know if you saw the rumor today that broke about Galactus specifically, but apparently he is another one of the like. There's only one of him in the multiverse type creature characters.
So an America Chavez
yeah, kind of like America
type,
Chavez, where he's the only
even
one.
though there isn't, because there's one in the comic books who's a different.
Shh, no.
But also, the comic is Earth 616, and this is also Earth 616. So maybe there's 2.
This is Earth 616-D.
There's 2 multiverses.
Okay, to be fair, how many Earth ones does DC have?
Okay.
Like 1 million.
But you can explain that away by just all of the Earths thinking they're Earth 1.
That's true, which is a funny joke. Why would all of them think they're 616? That's a random number.
Well, they don't. The TVA gave them that designation. So
no, because what's his name?
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
He guessed.
Just guessed
that
was the right
correctly.
Number?
Yeah.
Well, Doctor Strange knows that it's the right number.
Does he know?
Yeah, because his girlfriend in the other universe.
Oh, it's like
you're
from
616 universe.
Mm-hmm.
Which how she figured that out. Unclear.
Well, because they're in like the Baxter Building multiverse science lab. I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe Reed Richards probably knows.
Well, in Spider-Verse, they can tell if you're from an alternate dimension by like looking at your DNA or whatever.
Yeah, your DNA tells.
So I'm guessing it's same rules apply. You're slightly genetically different depending on your universe.
I mean that makes sense, but like she didn't. Do you take like a blood sample?
I mean, she could have. He was unconscious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Take a urine sample.
What?
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, no. I mean, you could do that, but also like there is other. No, you can't, because there is another Galactus in the Fox universe.
Yeah,
who's
like
a big cloud.
It actually straight up is
you could do that if there wasn't already one in another movie, but
like live action.
Yeah,
but you can't. Well, was that Galactus really Galactus though?
They name him Galactus.
Or was that just a cloud that they called
It was
Galactus?
A big cloud who has a Silver Surfer who was named Galactus. You can't really like say that wasn't a real Galactus. This is real Galactus.
That was a cloud. That was a scary dust ball.
It doesn't really matter if there's like more than one. Who cares? Like it doesn't.
But that's like, why are they? Why do they? Why
that would matter if Galactus was going to be around for more than one movie, but it looks like he's not. So
he will show up again at some point.
And maybe another Fantastic Four movie, but he's not going to be the big bad of anything.
Yeah, probably not.
Unless
they do what I said, where they like seal him away and then he comes back later.
I'm sure you can bring him back for more Fantastic Four stuff, but I don't think he's going to like crossover into Avengers movies.
Do you think they'll do the negative universe? What is it called?
The Negative Zone?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. I'm expecting them to do just weird 60s sci-fi Fantastic Four comic stuff. Just anything, just kind of really out of the box, weird stuff that they haven't been able to do in other movies.
But what? Like, what have they not been
I
able
don't know,
to do?
weird creatures, alternate dimensions. Like, the Fantastic Four tend to, like, just kind of, like, travel the universe and, like, visit, like, strange high society places with aliens and
So you want it to be
and encounter, like,
Star
weird
Trek.
cosmic... Yeah, that's what the comics are.
Star Trek, but with the stretchy,
Fantastic Four comics...
stretchy guy Star Trek.
Yeah, they're scientists. Like, that's what they do. They're not really superheroes in, like, a traditional, like, Spider-Man, Superman-esque sense.
I mean, if Spider-Man was like on their team all the time, though.
He would team up with them a lot.
Yeah.
But he would team up with them to
Whenever
do, like,
they were
normal
fighting a
superhero
guy.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks cool.
I do like the guy doing it. I think he's a good pick. The director is Matt Shackman,
What does he
who's
do?
done like a lot of sitcom stuff, and I think that's a good fit with like a family dynamic, like 1960s kind of setting.
Could be interesting.
I think that could really work. I'm interested to see how that goes. I'm not interested to see why this movie had 5 credited screenwriters.
Yeah, that's not great. Also, from what we saw from the cell phone footage of that guy recording the trailer in the hall,
Yeah.
the aesthetic of the movie looks like CGI live action Jetsons.
Kinda, but also that's not what the
little-
movie is going to look like because that's like previs stuff.
Yeah, but it's probably gonna be pretty.
That's like the
similar
idea of
to
the
that.
look, but I mean, it's gonna look better than that. They're gonna have more time to finish the CGI.
Well, yeah. Again, we were looking through it, but I'm talking about the like that
Yeah.
type of aesthetic, not necessarily like what
It kind
we
of looks
literally saw on screen.
like a Bruce Timm like DC cartoon a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
like Superman the animated series kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
kind of where it's like you're not really
Like that
sure
kind of
where
like
in
weird,
time
like
this takes
weird
place.
looking buildings.
Yeah. It looks cool. I'm interested to see where it goes. I think Galactus looks way too much like Dormammu.
What, that he's a big face?
That he has purple eyes that go wee wee wee.
I mean, he's got purple eyes. You can't not give him big purple eyes.
but Dormammu was like the
He
purple
shoots
eye
big purple
guy.
eyes at planets and that eats them. That's what he does.
He does eat with his eyes.
He eats with his eyeballs. He has a big mouth, but he
Are
doesn't.
we doing the ultimate nullifier?
What is that?
The thing that you use to beat it's the defeat Galactus button.
I mean, maybe they'll probably call it something else. That sounds kind of stupid.
It's the thing that the Beyonders, not the Beyonder, the Beyonders, the aliens, made to stop. I don't remember what the specific threat was, but they made it because they made a race of dudes who were too powerful, and they started attacking the Beyonders' homeworld, and they ended up destroying it because So the Beyonders exist outside of space and time because they got super duper advanced. They used to help out like other universes. Oh no, not the Beyonders. The Watchers. Yeah. They used to help out people and like tell them how to do technology and things.
And now they just watch.
And they helped this society out and they got really, really strong, and then they nuked their homeworld and it blew it all up and it's gone now. And so they were like, okay, nuh-uh. And they built the ultimate nullifier, which is a button that just deletes a thing from the universe. That's how you defeat Galactus.
Feel like to introduce that
That's how they
would
defeated
kind of negate the stakes of any movie they make.
That's how they defeated Galactus in the original, like his
yeah,
original
I
appearance.
feel like if you introduce the delete the evil villain from Multiverse button and then you have like a new guy come up, it'd be hard to explain away why you can't just do that again.
Well, there's only one ultimate nullifier.
I think they're going to lose. And the
Yeah,
dimension will get eaten at the end of
and I
this.
think
And
they'll
they'll
get
have to
sent
jump
to-
ship to
yeah.
the 616 universe. And
You think they'll just replace incursions with Galactus?
No.
Why not?
I think Galactus will eat their planet and they'll jump universes. Because we already know incursions are a thing because of Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, but
And you can't do Secret Wars without incursions.
You we can get into it later when we talk about Doctor Doom.
Well, Galactus could just be going like Earth by Earth eating, multiverse by
because
multiverse
the
eating
reason
the
why
planets.
Doctor Doom was destroying certain universes.
He wasn't really destroying them. He was taking parts of ones that were kind of still alive and like joining them together. Because in the comic book Secret Wars, there's a whole storyline called Time Runs Out that sets it up, where all the universes are being incurred upon because they're just collapsing into each other because they're like resetting the entire universe. I think it's the Beyonder doing it.
No, okay, so here's what was going on. There's a creature called Molecule Man, who is a guy who exists in every multiverse, kind of the same way that the Living Tribunal does, where like he exists in every universe, like they're all the same guy, but he's in every universe. He is a bomb created by the Beyonders, those aliens that I confused for the Watchers earlier.
Yep.
that was created to destroy the entire multiverse when they got bored of it, because they kind of like made it for fun.
Yeah.
But they don't like it.
Yeah, no, that's the plot, is they get upset and they blow it up.
The more of him that there are, the more Molecule Mans they are, the more powerful he becomes. And so the more universes there are, the more powerful he becomes. And so when they detonate him, he'll be powerful enough to destroy the whole universe. So Doctor Doom figures that out, and he starts causing incursions on purpose to destroy universes, to destroy Molecule
Well, he gains
Mans.
the power of the Beyonder.
Well, yes. And then he uses that to destroy universes so that Molecule Man's power decreases so that the remaining universes in the multiverse can survive when he goes off.
Because by the time the Secret Wars comic starts, every universe has collapsed except for 616 and the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, because he was trying to save what he thought were the most important ones.
Yeah. And then those two universes merge into Battle World. Which is
current MCU.
I guess what they're going to do is substitute the Ultimate Universe for the Fox Universe.
Yeah.
And then when they join them together, that's when they'll be able to pick and choose elements.
But I'm saying instead of Molecule Man, you make it Galactus. And the more planets he consumes, the more powerful he gets. So Doctor Doom is trying to destroy planets or destroy universes.
Do we think Doctor Doom is in this movie? Yes or no? Fantastic Four.
Maybe.
I think he's gonna have a cameo at the end, and I think he'll be mentioned.
I think he will be in it.
Because we know Doctor Doom, he's going to have to be from another dimension. He's not going to be able to be from 616. So.
I don't know. We can get into that when we get to Doctor Doom.
Okay. Well, anyway, they also flew with the Fantastic Car around.
That was really stupid. That was really dumb.
That's a fun thing.
Why do people cheer for that?
Because it's fun.
But like
it's a big floating car.
They hyped it up like it was a reveal. And that's not even.
Well,
that's not even the car.
It was revealed of what
drive.
the Fantastic Car looks like in the movie.
Yeah, but like it's not the car that they drive.
Well, the actual Fantastic Car is like a weird, like
it's just
gray.
It's like a flying hot tub.
Yeah, it sucks. It's better.
It is better, but like it was just a very weird thing to reveal.
So that was the most of the Marvel panel. It was kind of underwhelming. They didn't really play anything big. They released all their trailers.
Tee up the Doctor Doom reveal so we can play it on the podcast.
A couple weeks ahead of time, and then at the very end, Kevin Feige is like, "All right, guys, we got one more thing to talk about." And he walks the Russo brothers out on stage.
I wanna play it for the
the
people at home.
They walk the Russo brothers out on stage, and they're like, "We're coming back. We're gonna direct Avengers: Secret Wars, but in order to do Avengers: Secret Wars, we got to do this other movie first. In order to do this other movie first, we got to bring in a big character." And then they put the lights to green, and they're like, "Avengers: Doomsday," and then they're like, "Who's gonna play Doctor Doom?" And then this happens.
The part.
You can't just find the 30-second clip.
Oh, okay, wait. All right. So they walk out, a bunch of dudes dressed as Dr. Doom out on screen onto the hall, and then, ba-bump, it's Robert Downey Jr.
He's back. He's 60. Back. He's getting a boatload of money. We'll talk about it in a minute.
But yeah, this is a very strange reveal. And
so Kang is officially gone.
So Kang's out.
We're done with that. Kang. Not doing that anymore. There's been some speculation that Doomsday will open with him murdering all the Kangs.
100%.
That is, 1,000%. I would almost guarantee you that's going to happen.
1,000,000,000%.
Because then they get rid of that problem, and then they also are like, he's even
stakes.
worse.
Yeah, they build up the stakes. Yeah. It's a perfect fix.
Yeah.
It's a I don't remember what the trope is called, but it's a thing that D&D DMs will do. If like they introduce a big bad and the party kills him too fast, they're like, they have a newer evil or villain kill the last blow of the villain and be like, there's a guy. Which is literally exactly what we're seeing here. My biggest problem with this reveal, they should not have done it at all. This should have been revealed in the movie.
You can't do that.
You can.
They could. There's no way they would have been able to keep that secret.
But they could have just been like, oh, there's an Iron Man variant.
Well, he's also gonna have to be. The movie's called Doomsday. He's gonna have to be in the marketing.
Yeah, but you have them in the mask in the marketing.
He's not gonna wear the mask.
Yes, he will.
No, he's not. Not for more than a scene.
Here's why he will.
He can't.
Here's why he will.
You're delusional.
Listen, no, it's because they're dumb. They're going to have him in the mask in all the marketing.
No.
And they're gonna pretend like they didn't reveal it already.
No.
I think they might do that.
That's not going to happen.
Because he has to wear the mask in the movie a little bit, because the characters in the movie have to not know who he is.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No.
Are they just going to call him, oh, it's Doom Iron Man. Why would they call him Doom at all?
He's not going to be Iron Man.
That's what I'm saying.
They said at the thing he's Victor Von Doom.
Yes, that's what
He's just Victor Von Doom from another universe, and he just looks like Tony Stark.
Okay, so he's Tony Stark from another universe.
But he's a different. He's got a different name.
No, he's not. No, he isn't. They're not going to actually call him that.
They're going to call him Victor.
They might, but like that'll just be like that's Iron Man's name in that other universe. Like that's just Tony Stark's name over there. Because there's going to be a scene where he's got the mask on and Spider-Man is there and he takes the mask off.
Yeah, but
and Spider-Man's like, Mr. Stark, you're alive. And he's like, I'm not Mr. Stark.
That'll be his first scene in the movie.
No, the first scene in the movie, he's got to kill all the
Robert Downey Jr. is Robert Downey Jr. He ain't wearing the mask, at all. If he's wearing the mask, it's for a fight scene, so he doesn't have to do it.
The quote he said was, new
mask, same task. He's not wearing the mask. Like,
he's gonna wear the mask.
He's gonna walk around.
He's not gonna wear the mask.
He is going to wear it, but he will walk around for 70% of the movie without it on, and he will not have it on in any of the marketing because then you can't put Robert Downey Jr.'s face all over the place, and that is the entire purpose of doing this.
You don't think they're gonna have his face
Sam,
and a Doom face?
Look behind you, okay? You see that Infinity War poster? You see how Robert Downey Jr.'s face is at the very center of it.
Yeah. So do you see where Thanos is right there?
Yes, that's going to be him on the poster. And it's going to be his head.
Listen, Iron Man's going to stay right there. That poster's going to be the same. Where Thanos is going to be another Iron Man with the mask on.
With the mask
His mask is going to be on in the movie.
Not for more than 1 or 2 scenes.
I mean, maybe, but like it'll be in
anytime
the movie.
He has to fight
I don't
anyone.
Know what you're even like. I don't understand what you're saying right now. Like, it doesn't matter at all.
I'm saying that like he is going to run around without the mask on, so that he can be on. I'm saying they would not be able to keep it secret because one, he'd be walking around for an entire film shoot, and someone would notice and tweet about it. And two, you have to put him in the marketing. He is Doctor Doom. Like, he's got to be on the poster.
Okay.
It's got to be Robert Downey Jr.
But I'm saying they could have gotten away with that by just saying there is an Iron Man variant in the movie and then not said who Doctor Doom is.
But then they wouldn't have, then everyone already knows. So then what are you keeping secret?
You're keeping the secret is that Doctor Doom is an Iron Man.
That would be a
variant.
secret to keep if it was like Iron Man turned evil, but it's a different guy.
What do you mean?
Like, it's not like that is an Iron Man. It's just a different evil character. Like, that's not a secret. That's not a reveal.
It's a reveal to the characters in the movie.
It's a reveal to the fans that's like a thing, but that's what they just did. Like, you don't really need to keep that for the movie.
You think that he's gonna not be playing a variant of Stark?
I think he'll be playing a guy named Victor Von Doom who will look like, but we know that's already a thing because of something that happens in Deadpool and Wolverine that I can't say because it would be a spoiler. Like, the same actor can play 2 different characters in 2 different multiverses and look the same.
I mean, sort of.
There's already a basis for that.
But that's not... The fans will not... Like, the people who watch this movie are not going to see it that way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You're saying they will be confused on why he looks like Tony Stark if his name is Tony Stark.
Yes, so they're just going to make him a Tony Stark variant.
I think the audience is familiar enough with the multiverse where it won't be confusing.
Here's what I think the situation is. He's basically Darth Vader. He was Tony Stark. He turned evil. When he started doing evil things, he went by Doom. Problem solved.
But you think his name will be Tony Stark?
I don't know if he will use that name, but I think that will be what his name was.
Okay, then when you say he is Tony Stark, then like, is he saying like he's got the same origin story? He was in the cave, like stuff like that.
I don't know if the origin story will be identical because I think they're.
Then what is the thing that's the same?
That he is just a Stark variant. Like,
so you just want them to say that at some point?
They don't have to.
Well, because
you are being like so eclectic about this.
Yeah, but like if he has a different name and he has a different backstory, then he just is a different character.
Okay, it's not. Number one, no, that's just fundamentally incorrect. Every variant of every character has a slightly different origin story. That's what the point of a variant is.
I'm saying, what about him is Tony Stark? That's the same.
The intelligence, the ability to problem solve, the willingness to do horrible things for the greater good. It's taking those traits about Tony Stark and amplifying them to the point where he becomes a threat.
Okay, that's just Doctor Doom in the comics, though.
Yes. Correct.
So there's nothing about that is inherently Tony Stark that is Doctor Doom that's a different character. You see what I'm talking about?
Is, right?
You see what I'm talking
about? What are you saying?
There will be similar personality attributes, right?
Yes.
That's the whole point.
That's what makes him...
But,
yeah.
like, there's nothing... That doesn't affect things. Like, that. I don't see how that's important.
It's not important, like, technically speaking.
I don't see
like,
that's important to the audience to understand what's happening. Other than just saying it's a different guy, because it is.
It's about... Because the whole reason you do... Other than just getting Robert Downey Jr. in the movie.
It's a stunt, by the way.
For the story, the reason you do that is for that reaction the characters
It's for the part in the movie where Spider-Man goes, whoa!
Yes,
that's it.
That's why you do that. So if he is just a totally unrelated random guy whose face happens to look exactly like Iron Man's, that reveal is not...
Well, he is.
That reveal doesn't really translate to anything. Because it's those dark traits amplified in Tony Stark that makes this a scary villain. Because, you need to not think about this as they're fighting Doctor Doom. You need to think about this as they're fighting an evil version of Tony Stark.
They are fighting an evil version of Tony Stark who doesn't know who any of them are, who has like a completely different background, name. He's from a different universe. He has no relationship to any of them.
He's going to know everything about them. That's part of the reveal. He's going to know all their strengths, all their weaknesses, all their backstories, and he's going to use that information to break the team apart. That is going to be a story.
But that's not really like, that's not Tony Stark, though. Like, he wouldn't do that.
But if he took a different path, he might.
No, I'm not even saying just because he's evil. I'm saying Tony Stark is not really like a planner. Like, he kind of just acts on impulse in any given moment.
Yes.
So that's even those things aren't the same between them.
Again, not every single trait has to be the same. Otherwise, he's not different. I'm not saying he's going to be identical.
I'm saying what is the thing that's the same between them other than their face being the same?
So, those traits I mentioned.
He's smart, sure.
He's smart, but it's more than that, because Tony Stark is more than just a smart guy.
I know, but all those like personality attributes, like his tics, his like quips, his AC/DC love, like his his like emotional reactions to things.
Yes.
Like those things all don't translate to Doctor Doom.
Okay.
So
yes.
like
he's not going to be Doctor Doom. You need to get rid of that idea. He's going to be evil Iron Man. You need to abandon the idea that they're even doing Doctor Doom at all. Because they're not.
Sure.
If they were, they would have cast someone to play Doctor Doom.
Sure, he's evil Iron Man. In what way?
Okay, so take those emotional, impulsive reactions and amplify them to the point where they cause massive problems. Where he is reacting emotionally and it's causing him to turn to solutions that are arguably worse than the problem.
But that's not... Okay, but that is...
his deep knowledge of the team, because I'm assuming he's going to be a fallen Iron Man, like he was on an Avengers team. They lost. He turned bad. He's now invading this universe for some reason. Whatever destroyed his universe is probably coming for this. And he's doing this to save them, right? That's what it's going to be. Because he was willing to build Ultron to save the world. This is that version of Iron Man if he never grew a heart, basically.
So, the reason Doctor Doom makes Battle World in Secret Wars, the comic, is because he doesn't have enough power to like keep both the universes alive.
Yeah.
That's like his emergency solution. And because he wants to like be a hero because he's jealous of Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Like that's his whole motivation in the comic. The Secret Wars comic, for context, the 2015 one, which is what they're going to be
the real one.
Basing this on. It's going to be really different in a lot of ways. But it's the 2015 Secret Wars comic was written to be the final Fantastic Four storyline.
Yes.
It is a comic that is at its base about Reed Richards and Doctor Doom and their like 60-something year history. That's what that comic is about. This movie can't be about that because those characters will never have met on screen before by the time this movie comes out.
Hang on. Because here's the theory that I was saving for later. So if we do see him in Fantastic Four, he is going to have a solution to the Galactus problem. It's going to be bad. It's going to be dark, evil, whatever. It's going to be worse than... Reed Richards is going to want to find another way. He's going to let them try to find another way. They're going to fail. He's going to be like, I was right. You should have done my way. They're all going to bail and go to 616. Galactus is going to keep eating other planets, and then Doctor Doom, Iron Man, Doctor Doom, is going to try to do his solution, whatever it was, on 616 Earth to stop Galactus.
Do you think he'll have like an Iron Man looking suit?
I think it will be like a more beat up. Yeah, kinda. It'll be like an Apocalypse looking type armor, if that makes sense.
Green.
Like a green Iron Man, and it'll have the eye holes, and it'll be like smashed up. Kind of like you know the like messed up Ultron puppet thing?
Yeah.
It'll be like that, but like a suit of armor.
Okay.
That's how I'm seeing this play out.
I'm seeing it playing out as Robert Downey Jr. is going to walk around in like a green suit a lot of the time and just kind of like point at dudes and just like, and then whenever he fights someone, there will be a full body Iron Man suit, so you don't see his face. That runs around and punches things.
I mean, that's like semantics.
I know
the way the fights play out, but I'm talking on a like what the story will be. Because he's gonna wear a green suit.
I don't really know what his motivation will be.
It's going to be to stop Galactus.
Well, why?
Because they failed on his planet.
But why would he care?
Because he wants to stop Galactus. He doesn't want to repeat the same. He doesn't want the same thing that happened to his world to happen to this world.
So then, what is he doing that's bad?
Whatever his solution is, whatever his way of stopping Galactus is going to be something that like destroys the rest of the multiverse or something like that. That's what it'll be.
Because the movie is called Avengers Doomsday, so it's going to be everyone teaming up to fight Doom. So I'm guessing it won't be a Secret Wars thing where there's like the Beyonders are collapsing the multiverse, and then these guys are all just kind of reacting to it.
Instead of the Beyonders and Molecule Man, because that's kind of
he'll have to be the inciting incident, whatever it is.
Instead of like it being the Beyonders and Molecule Man, because all that's very confusing and kind of hard to explain.
No, it's too late to introduce all that.
It's too late in the story to get all that in. So we just replaced that threat with Galactus. Whatever the thing is that's making Galactus powerful, the way to stop him is the same way that Doctor Doom was stopping Molecule Man.
I guess you could do that.
It's a pretty easy swap out.
He's hopping universes, eating planets.
And then Doctor Doom, fake Tony Doctor Doom, Tony Von Doom, we'll call it that, is going around destroying universes in order to save either his Earth or in order to not repeat the mistakes that happened on Fantastic Four movie Earth. Yeah. Whichever one he's from. Because he's either going to be from his own Marvel universe or he'll be from the Fantastic Four one. If he's from the Fantastic Four one, his motivation will be, I don't want to repeat what happened before. If he's from his own Earth, his motivation will be, I got to stop this guy before he comes from mine. All the universes are getting exploded
anyway. Yeah. Because that's how this movie's going to end.
But that's how Doomsday's going to end.
Doomsday's going to end with all of them getting exploded and Battleworld being formed, because that's basically the Infinity War Endgame twist all over again.
Yes.
And the other thing forming Battleworld did in the comics is it dramatically whittled down the number of characters in play, which is really useful for writing the dramatic conclusion, because then you don't have to worry about everyone being there.
Yes.
You have like 8 core people to focus on, which is obviously what they did with Endgame. So that's what they will do here. My guess is Doomsday will be every character on the 616 Earth will essentially be brought together for that movie. So
they're all going to.
We know Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are here, so it's going to be Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, Captain America, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, Thor, anyone who's running around, and that'll be the Avengers movie for the 616 universe.
Yes,
we're going to wipe the slate of most of those characters at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
Secret Wars will be Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, Wesley Snipes, Blade.
Yeah.
People like that.
Morbius.
Morbius. Maybe Tom Hardy Venom. I could see that being a thing that they get. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Captain America probably be there. Black Panther. It'll be
a team of
our
cameos.
big players and a lot of our guys from the other Fox X-Men
the
stuff
other universes
that we can plug in
that are being merged
like Ian Geffold, Mr. Fantastic, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
It'll be that. All this is building to 2 things. One is a shot where Tony Stark, Iron Man, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man all stand next to each other, and everyone in the audience claps, and it's a full circle moment, because finally, after 25, 27 years,
we got all the guys together.
It's the 3 guys together, right?
The big 3 of the Marvel universe.
And then at the end, they'll send everyone back to the universe. And instead of in the comics, they merged the Ultimate and the in the 616 universe.
It'll be the Fox
X-Men,
and the Disney universe.
And then they will bring over, Daphne Keane X-23, Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, Colossus, the Deadpool
all
cast.
The X-Men actors.
Yeah, all of those guys will come back, and some of them will be mysteriously younger and recast.
Different. Yeah.
And then that's how they'll move on from there. But that is what we're building to.
Yes.
Other stuff that we know. Stephen McFeely is returning to write the script, so I guess Michael Waldron is out.
I guess, yeah.
Stephen McFeely is half the writing team who did Infinity War Endgame, It was him and Christopher Marcus. I don't know why Christopher Marcus isn't coming back.
He might just be busy.
I don't know. Well, they write everything together. This is the first time he's ever written anything on his own.
Weird.
So I don't know if they had a beef or if he just wanted a break or he'll come later and join in. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a little odd.
And Alvin Silvestri is coming back to compose the score. We know that. So so we got Russo brothers back as the director. We got half the writers, and we got the guy doing the score, and we have RDJ.
We got 90% of the Marvel
and
the Avengers formula.
Everyone's coming back. I mean, they're going to get everyone back. Scarlett
Yeah.
Johansson's going to come back. Chris Evans is going to come back.
I think the first scene of the movie is going to play out exactly like this.
Here's the thing.
Doom's going to show up.
He's going to kill all the Kangs, right?
He's going to show up in that Kang hall where all the Kangs
are. We going to show any of the Kangs'
They're all going to have
faces?
helmets on. They're all going to have the Kang helmet on. It's going to look stupid. They're all going to have the Kang helmet on, okay?
Do you think there's a possibility they recast Kang just for that scene?
No. They're going to have helmets on.
Or do you think...
A guy will ask, who are you? Because this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to be in their hall.
Yeah.
Doom shows up.
Yep.
One of them goes, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what he says. I'm calling it right now.
I am your Doom.
I am your Doom. And then he sets off a bomb or shoots
his lightning or whatever.
Something happens. They all explode. They all die.
Yeah.
He picks up an artifact that one of them has. One of them's got a piece of a thing
that he needs for
his machine to build the ultimate nullifier.
Yeah.
Because that's how you beat Galactus. That's what you do. That's going to be the first scene. I'm calling it right now. That is exactly how it's going to play out.
That's how it opens.
That's how it opens. That is how Avengers Doomsday
I think
opens.
there's also a possibility they just kill all the Kangs off screen.
They might.
I think there's a possibility that
But I don't know if it was the Russo brothers or Feige. Someone said in an interview recently.
I think Poochie's gonna die on his way back to his home
They
planet.
said specifically that the Kang storyline will be wrapped up in Doomsday.
Of course, they're gonna have to.
So we're gonna see
because there's
kill
still
the Kangs.
stuff. I mean, there's obvious like plot elements they were setting up for the Kang storyline as recent as like a year ago. Like that whole thing where like the 10 rings and the Bengals and all that were like connected to some weird multiverse energy. Like that was very clearly going somewhere with the Kang storyline. And the whole thing with the Council of Kangs, because we saw that in Ant-Man.
I don't know if the Bengals...
Because that was the whole plot of the Marvels. That's how they open that dimensional rift, is with the Bangle. But I think was all going to be like part of Kang's like multiverse hopping machine. Was like he was going to bring all those pieces together.
You could just say
I think that's where they were going.
It connects to the Fox universe.
Well,
that's why those universes are connected.
But I think that was supposed to be their new Infinity Stones. Was like all these various magic objects or multiverse energy objects that he was going to have to assemble, or his big device.
I think he's still going to do that. I
think
think
Doom will swap it out.
I think Doom will be the one doing it.
Yeah, you can do that. I don't think that's that hard.
Because Kang has no real motivation to do that.
No, I don't know. I don't really know what Kang's, because it was a war, right? Like that's what what was it, He Who Remains was trying to prevent by
he just didn't want
keeping
any other
one
Kang
timeline.
variants
We didn't want Kang variants running around. But then at the end of Ant-Man, they're all teaming up.
Yeah, so that just wasn't.
I don't really know what they were teaming up to do.
Want to chill,
hang out.
It's like they wanted to do Council of Ricks. They just wanted to
wanted to chill.
Spot.
I do think it's kind of disappointing they're burning Doctor Doom on 2 movies and then they can't ever do him again.
Yeah, I mean, they could do the 10 Rings thing. They could do the Mandarin thing.
Where he's not the real Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Or there's more than one?
Or he's not the real... Like, there's another guy who is
also
Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, sure.
And this is just, again, an Iron Man variant. Who's just going by the name Doom. Because they're not going to call him Doctor Doom. Spider-Man...
he's going to call him...
Spider-Man will call him that as a joke. But... Because he'll have a white cape. And then Spider-Man will be like, what's with the lab coat? Are you Doctor Doom?
I don't think Spider-Man would say that.
Spider-Man would definitely say that.
It seems like... no, because this Spider-Man's too nice.
Maybe Reed Richards... Again, we're doing a lot of...
That's a Tony Stark
here. Maybe Reed Richards tells them that, like, oh, he's a doctor from my universe. He was Professor whatever in my
he
universe.
was a doctor until this.
He was Professor this in my universe. And then... Whenever they're fighting him,
Shang-Chi's friend will be like, "Oh, he's Doctor Doom over here."
Yeah. Like they'll only say Doctor Doom one time. And
He'll just call himself Doom.
They'll call him Doom for the movie.
Yeah. Obviously, but I do think he's going to walk around as Robert Downey Jr. See, that's the other thing. Is a key part of Doctor Doom, the character, is he's all like disfigured and scarred and ugly.
You can do that.
They're not going to. RDJ's going to want to walk around with no makeup on because that's less work.
but they could CGI him some scars or something.
That would be wild.
He might just be scarred. I don't know if he'll be like
maybe
disfigured.
one big scar.
Yeah, I think he'll have a big scar that goes down his face. And that does two things. It shows that like this is like a warped and twisted Iron Man, and it gives him a reason to have the mask on for at least part of the movie.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, this is a wild pivot. I do like how this is very publicly their backup plan.
I called this so hard.
Sam,
I called this before the Kang stuff was announced.
Sam pitched
this exact idea.
I believe in 2020. It was before they even announced.
It was like on the drive home.
I remember
Endgame when we were debating.
I don't think it was that, but it was.
We were debating who the next big bad was going to be, and I came up with that idea.
Yeah, because I remember you were like, they should do Kang, and Kang should be evil Iron Man from another dimension.
Yeah, where they failed to stop Thanos.
And then when they announced Jonathan Majors was Kang in Ant-Man 3, you were like,
that theory
this is
died.
Poopy. And then apparently Kevin Feige...
he listened.
Because I don't think we ever said it on the podcast. I think it was before we even did the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. I don't think we ever said it online. On the McDonald's.
I'll back you up though. I know you because you told me about it multiple times.
Because I thought it was. I wanted that scene where it's revealed to Spider-Man that the guy he's fighting is his mentor, and he's been like killing his friends. I think that is a super like twisted reveal,
especially since Spider-Man's basically the main character.
Yeah, especially because Spider-Man's kind of the main character now.
Who's going to be the anchor being? It's going to be Spider.
Yeah, I think that is such a cool idea for a reveal. I don't know if the fans, at least, we're not going to have that moment. I was kind of hoping. I knew that this was like not going to happen, but I was kind of hoping that like they would do a whole "Who is Doom" campaign. They would do a whole "Who's the man behind the mask."
Yeah, I think it'd be so hard. It would be hide.
Yeah, especially if they also say around the same time, like, oh, there's an Iron Man variant in the thing.
Yeah, everyone would know. And I mean, this was rumored this got out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like the second anyone sent an email about this, it was online.
We kind of put together what was going on. But I called this so hard.
Yeah, you did. I'll give it to you. Yeah. Well, you said it with Kang.
I said it.
You didn't get it exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly perfect.
But your idea of it being the evil main character from the last 10 years that's your call.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. Good job.
I think that's my biggest.
I do think that's your biggest one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you should get half points by the fact that was.
I would accept half points because it's a different.
Because it's a different guy, and it wasn't the original
and it's not
plan.
Exactly the same as how I said it.
Yeah, and it wasn't the original plan. And this is the backup plan because the other thing fell through.
I like that they're doing it anyway.
I do like how
little part of me is excited about this because I called it.
This is pretty desperate though.
This is very desperate. Like it's clearly very desperate.
They're like, just go get the guys who did it before.
But at the same time, I think they have an opportunity to tell a really cool story here. I think even though it's desperate, I think there is an opportunity to tell a really interesting story with this setup.
Yeah.
I think having sort of going up against a dark, twisted version of your original patriarch is almost a little bit symbolic of the whole Marvel universe.
They're fighting their better versions.
Yeah, they're fighting
it when it was fun.
They're fighting the corruption of what they were. And I think Iron Man or at least Stark Von Doom can serve as almost a metaphor for the sort of falling apart of the Marvel universe a little bit.
They're going to have to literally kill the past.
They literally, yeah.
So that they can reboot.
I think this is a really interesting story opportunity. Now, I have no idea what Secret Wars is going to be.
I do.
I know how it's going to end, and I know what is going to happen. But I'm talking about like specific.
We're going to take
who's going to be where, what's going to be doing what.
So we're going to be on Battle World. We're going to have our core cast of guys.
But I'm not exactly sure why Battle World.
I think it would be fun to like get all of the characters we have and like try to figure out who's going to be on what team.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea for a video. Is like who's going to be on the Secret Wars Avengers, who's going to be on the
Doomsday
Doomsday
Avengers. Do you think they're
Avengers?
going to do the same like heroes versus villains thing that they did in the comics?
They will probably bring back
like
a bunch of killed off villains. They will probably bring back a bunch of villains that they've killed off over the years.
That could be kind of cool.
That would be fun.
I could see that being
fun.
And
that'd be a nostalgia play.
Yeah, this is a cool...
Because you can bring back Jeff Bridges, you can bring back Red Skull, you can bring back Ultron, you can bring back Loki again. Like, you just do that. You can bring back Thanos.
I did see some people pitching an idea that I thought was kind of cool, where instead of having it be Doom who kills all the Kang variants and becomes the next big bad, it's Ultron, and you have him be voiced by Stark, and you have him be evil. I think that, again, I think that's a worse idea.
That's kind of stupid, yeah.
But it's a cool idea. Like, it's that's basically what the what if Vision.
I think it needs to be it needs to be a new guy. It needs to be a new villain. Because I think it's the other thing that was dumb about the Kang storyline is they introduced Kang like 5 years before his big payoff.
Yeah, and he was kind of they did that with Thanos too.
Well, you didn't really have a choice other than him to be like beat up by all these minor characters before the Avengers.
That's where they were very smart with Thanos.
Is that he never encountered anyone before.
Yeah, he was, but we knew from Guardians of the Galaxy
that he was big
figure. Business.
Yeah,
he was running the galaxy.
And then you see the first thing he does in Infinity Wars, he beats up the Hulk. Yeah,
and I think that the setup that they have right now gives them a very good opportunity to kind of repeat a lot of those same story beats, but have sort of new and interesting twists along the way.
I think
that's what people want.
Infinity War and Endgame are gonna be. This will basically just be like a soft remake of those.
Yeah,
this will be the Star Wars: The Force Awakens of the MCU.
But we're basically gonna remake. Okay with that. I'm okay with that so long as what follows it is not terrible.
We're basically gonna remake those movies, kind of beat for beat, but just with slightly different elements. Instead of magic stones, it'll be like weird pieces of a device.
Bracelets. Yeah.
Instead of the snap, it'll be a big bang where he redoes everything. We'll pick up in the fourth one with a smaller cast on a dystopian planet. It'll be stuff like that. Yeah. It'll be the same beats as we had before. Except for Endgame and sequels will have to be different because you can't do the time travel thing again. You have to be a whole other...
Yeah, I think the way they defeat the villain will be a lot more straightforward.
It'll have to be a lot more different. I think what we're going to get is... the Secret Wars comic ends with this big confrontation between Reed and Doom. I think this will end with a big confrontation between Spider-Man and Dr. Doom. Because that's the easiest emotional...
That's the biggest...
conflict to pitch. Mm-hmm. Is that idea.
I 100% agree.
Because he's like his mentor. Because Tony Stark's best friend in the MCU is like Happy Hogan. Yeah. So you can't really do that.
Well, and I wanna flesh it out a little more because I think that commentary can be done super well. Because if we think about Spider-Man and kind of where he is
sad and lonely.
But he's very focused on the little guy.
Yeah.
His whole thing is like, I will protect my neighborhood no matter what. Come hell or high water, I'm going to keep my guys safe. It's all about keeping the family safe, basically. Iron Man has always been a little more willing to...
He's a little big picture, yeah.
Yeah, he's always been a little more willing to kind of sacrifice the little guy to save the big guy. And so I think taking those two elements and really cranking that up with Stark Von Doom, you could make a really cool emotional clash there, where he's like, "Listen, Peter, this is how it's gotta be. This is what happened before. We tried that before. We tried saving the little guy. It didn't work out. This is the way it has to be." And Spider-Man is that last dying ember of willingness to not make that big sacrifice play, to really fight till the last breath to make everyone safe. But
I do think that's how it'll end. Yeah. And then at the end, he'll like appeal to his better will. He'll be like, be a friend and remake the universe and bring everyone back. And then that's how it'll.
Now,
then Doom will die because you're not bringing back RDJ another time.
Do we think that Doom had a Peter in his universe who died and made him more evil?
You could do that. You can't.
There's no Raimi. Just sprinkle it on top. Just sprinkle it in there.
I don't know. I think they could run in. You can only have two. There's a point where there's too many Spider-Mans running around, and there's already going to be one and the other two.
Yeah, I don't know. This would just be flashback Peter.
Yeah.
This would just be Doom flashback Peter who died and made him even more evil.
Played by any of the Spider-Man actors. Pick anyone you want.
Well, you know what?
It'll just be Tom Holland again.
Never mind. I was going to say that would be an interesting reason for him to fall, but we saw him die before.
No, I think Doom... I don't know.
We saw Peter,
I really don't know, because I don't know where they're going.
We saw Peter die with Stark before, and Stark just kind of became a recluse.
Yeah.
Now, maybe in another universe, he's like, all right, that's it, I'm done.
That's true. Yeah, he already had him die, so he can't really, turn evil because of that.
But we could see, this is the version of him
where, his family die.
After that death, he snapped.
You can have his daughter die.
You could have his daughter die, yeah.
And then you can bring his daughter back in
There's a lot of interesting ways you could make him
I don't know how old
evil.
she'd be at this point. Probably like
She
10.
was
She's like
5 or
4.
6 in.
No, she's younger. She's gotta be younger than 5 years old.
Okay, so she'd be like 10 years
She's
old.
like maybe
I guess.
10 now. Yeah. So she can't run around in an Iron Man suit yet.
Not yet. Well, maybe, but it'd be stupid if she did.
They're setting her and baby Black Panther. Those were crazy 15 years in the future
15-year
setups.
setups.
Those are never getting paid off. This is collapsing after this.
Yeah.
I do think this is the end. Not the end. I don't think they're going to stop after this. This is where it dies. That shot where it's Hugh Jackman Wolverine and Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That's after that, there's nowhere left to go.
I disagree. For one main reason.
They're also running out of big crossover comic storylines to do.
Well, hang on. They still have
all the X-Men stuff.
The bulk of Marvel's most famous comic stories. And I know that.
But a lot of big X-Men storylines Fox already did. And you can do some of them again.
Yeah, because Fox did them terribly.
But you can only do so many things that the audience have seen before they get bored.
I think the Fox versions of all those stories were so different and so much worse that there is absolutely room.
You can't do Dark Phoenix again.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. You already did it twice. You can't do it a third time.
No, but they never did it at all.
They did it sucky.
They kept teeing it up, but they never did it.
They did it sucky 2 times, but you can't do it a third time. Like, that's too many times for that one storyline.
Okay.
Right? You're not doing Secret Wars. You've done Civil War. You've done Infinity Gauntlet. You have done Secret Invasion, a crappy version of Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
You've done, like, Cap's had his Winter Soldier arc. You've done Ultron. You've done Kang the Conqueror. You can't do that again. You could do Age of Apocalypse, but you already did that you did an Apocalypse movie.
Okay.
And the other thing about Age of Apocalypse is the whole pitch of Age of Apocalypse is it's an alternate universe where the X-Men were never formed. That's just the main MCU. We've already seen that universe. It's fine.
But hang on.
You can't do Days of Future Past again.
Because you're thinking on too big of a scale. We got to start small. And they have an opportunity to start small again. We start with Magneto.
I know.
We start with
do some basic X-Men crap,
and
right?
then we build to
But what do you build
an Apocalypse, or we build to a Dark Phoenix, or we build to, like, those would be the Avengers inlays.
But these are all things we've seen before.
But the versions of those stories that have been, there's 2 reasons why I think in this situation they could retell them to basically no blowback. One, the audience for Marvel movies is way bigger than the X-Men movies. And now that they're being integrated, I think there's a whole new audience.
And here's the other thing.
Has not even been exposed to X-Men.
The X-Men within the Marvel comics are kind of off on their own, like 95% of the time.
Yeah, they're kind of doing their own stories.
Like, so how do you incorporate all of those because now all you're left with is the X-Men comic arcs. So now what you have to do is you have to take all these non-X-Men characters and try to work them into these, like, very X-Men centric storylines.
We work the non-X-Men characters into the Apocalypse War, the Days of Future, that kind of stuff. You bring in the other characters, and we'll still be making movies with those other characters.
Yeah, we'll get Doctor Strange 3 and stuff like that.
The X-Men by themselves, it'll functionally be the same basic stories, but with a different audience. Because the original X-Men movie audience, they're almost all in the MCU audience, but there is also like another 80% on top.
Yeah.
These people are not exposed to these stories at all. And look at the MCU. All of those stories were told before.
Yeah, in
comics, in TV shows, and all kinds of stuff. And then the movies came out. There was a much bigger audience for that, and those stories became a lot more popular through the MCU. I think you can kind of treat the Fox X-Men movies the same way we look at the comics. But those are stories that were told that way to an audience that I think is a lot different now.
I think the problem is now they're at a point where you're basically just going to be doing what Fox was doing and just making a bunch of X-Men stuff.
But the problem with Fox
was there's no room for anyone else.
The problem with Fox was, like, what is this movie? Where does this movie take place? Who are even the characters?
That could be a freaking hour and a half long video.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't have to get into all that right now. Stuff. But imagine that with the audience of the MCU and the universe consistency of the MCU. That is a recipe for success. That is a very easy recipe for success.
Where do you go where it's not a thing the audience has already seen?
It's all going to be,
and it's
most
not
of
even
it's
like
gonna be
it's not
stuff
even
they've
like
already seen.
particular characters. It's like just premise wise.
No, most 90% of
We've
it
seen a big
is going to be stuff
We've
they've already
seen
seen.
a big CGI villain with a cosmic plan. We've seen an evil version of an old character. We've seen different versions of the same character show up. We've seen X, we've seen mutants, we've seen all of this stuff. We've seen time travel.
So
like we've seen all of this stuff in these movies before.
This is where it gets different. So
shape shifting,
you have
all that. Them fight each other.
It's not about the powers and the effects necessarily that are really why people fell in love with these movies to begin with. It was the characters. They like the characters a lot. The characters carry these movies. And this is an opportunity to introduce a whole bunch of new characters. Yes, they're all going to be characters people have seen before. But what is the MCU Cyclops like?
I'm not even saying
they're all the MCU has a very they're very consistent with their characters, and their characters are very engaging. I think they have an opportunity to take a lot of the X-Men characters that were almost every X-Men character, with the exception of sometimes Wolverine, was pretty horribly done. You take those characters, you write them better, you put them into a much more popular setting, and I think there are a lot of stories that can be told there.
It doesn't matter who the characters are. What situation can we put these people in where we have not already... what situation can we put them in that we haven't already put them in?
But that's the thing. The situation doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the situation is.
It does if you don't want it to feel stale.
No, but hang on. Because Deadpool and Wolverine, characters we've seen before a million times.
Yes.
The story was non-existent. Didn't even really have a story. But people liked those characters, and they wanted to see those characters play off each other. That's really all you need. So it doesn't matter what the stakes are, who the villain is, what the situation is that they're in.
I'm saying,
it matters.
Yeah, I mean,
are these
you
characters
are right about
compelling,
that.
and is it fun to see them interact with each other?
You are right about that, but I feel like, I don't know, it'll just get stale from a plot perspective.
But I feel like whatever staleness level it can reach, we already reached it.
Because we've done everything.
That's what I'm saying.
It's been going on too long.
But we've already done everything, and we're still doing new things, and there is still stuff that might be cool to see. Like,
also,
I want to see the character interactions.
You're gonna get
in this movie.
the scale you're about to hit is the biggest you can.
Well, they did that in Deadpool and Wolverine already. She was going to wipe out the multiverse. That is the biggest scale.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. All that matters is the characters, how strong the characters are, and how fun it is to see them play off each other. The situation surrounding it can be cool, and it can add to that. Like, a lot of what I'm pitching with the Doom Spider-Man stuff, that's just flavor to add to the character interaction. But it's that character interaction that people are really going to get excited about. That's what people want to see. Why Doctor Doom is killing Galactus doesn't really matter. What matters is that he is interacting with the Avengers.
You're right, that is the appeal. But I don't know. This has been going on for so long, and they've done so many of these, like, the whole thing. Every time they get asked about like how long this has been going, they're like, "Well, there's 80 years of Marvel comics," and I'm like, most of them are like pretty.
30 of those are good,
and most of them are pretty worthless. And most Marvel comics are just like, this is a Black Panther story, and he does some Black Panther stuff. The thing is, like, for these big crossover movies, there's only so many of those stories to do.
And I think we're going to see a drastic reduction.
We're out of them.
I think we're going to see a drastic reduction in that crossover type movie. I think a lot of the X-Men stuff...
That is where it would go if the people running this weren't brainless corporate executives.
That's the thing. We're still going to get those big Avengers spectacle movies.
Because the spectacle can only go up.
But for at least the first phase of this next saga, I think we're going to see a lot of smaller scale X-Men stories. I think that's going to be their next play. I think they're going to try to bring the scale back down. That's kind of the only
thing you can do.
And since we're resetting so hard...
I do think we're going to recast a lot of people.
Yeah, you can recast basically everyone.
A lot of younger actors are about to come in.
And then that means your stakes are also reset.
And that means, like, we're gonna recast Tony Stark. We're gonna recast
Thanos.
Steve Rogers. Yeah. We're gonna recast all these guys. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is 60. Chris Evans is like 45. Benedict Cumberbatch is 50. Like, these guys are getting old. Like, Anthony Mackie, who's like the next new younger Captain America, is older than Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are not young. Like, they're not gonna do this for 10 more years.
And that's why I think we're going to see them return to a lot more...
Not everyone can be Hugh Jackman and get super jacked at the ripe old age of 58.
Yeah. I think we're going to see them pivot a lot more heavily into the X-Men.
Of course, that's the only thing.
I think we're going to see a lot more smaller scale stories, at least initially. Then we'll start getting those crossover movies where Iron Man shows up to help fight Apocalypse. Captain America shows up in the past of Days of Future Past. You know, whatever the gimmick is.
X-Men versus Avengers.
And we see an X-Men versus Avengers movie. We'll get all that stuff too.
People were like, I saw idiots on Twitter being like, that's what Avengers 5 should be, is Avengers versus X-Men. I'm like, what X-Men? And what Avengers?
Just Kamala Khan.
That's two teams that
That's
don't.
it.
That is two teams with no, like, who's on either of those teams?
Just Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel versus
like, they
the
could
Avengers.
fight the Fox X-Men, but that would just feel like elder abuse.
Yeah.
They're all 60.
Oh, did you see, it is been, as far as I'm aware, confirmed that the universe Photon ends up in at the end of Marvel's
the Fox one.
The universe that Deadpool was in.
Yep.
Not necessarily the mainline Fox
No,
universe.
because Deadpool is in the mainline Fox universe.
Sometimes.
No, he is. Officially, as of Deadpool and Wolverine, he now is.
Yeah, but then also the Logans are inconsistent.
Yep.
So it's hard to tell what's where.
Sam,
We're not getting into all that
I was
now.
literally trying to scribble it all out on this whiteboard yesterday.
We're not getting into all that right now. But my point
gonna
is,
do a whole other thing on that.
my point is, she's there now.
Yeah, she's in the Fox universe.
Yeah.
Which
So,
will be
yeah.
their ultimate universe.
Yeah.
Because they'll also have I guess they killed Johnny Storm.
Not yet. Oh, you mean in Fox?
Yeah.
So is Fantastic Four?
Spoilers.
Fantastic Four's in that universe.
I'm
then?
assuming so.
I mean, I don't see why not.
I guess all those Fox movies were in the same universe.
I guess all along they were in the
But
same.
Blade
even though
was
that
in
doesn't
a
make any
different
sense.
one.
Well, no,
Because of New Line. Because he was not the same company.
but nothing in Blade conflicts with anything. In those
Anyway,
movies.
just some financial stuff. The Russo brothers will receive $80 million up front for doing both movies.
There's no way Robert's getting paid less than that.
They are not getting any back-end participation. They are getting incentives for certain box office milestones, but they're not getting like a percentage of the gross or like toy sales or whatever.
Okay, I mean, sure.
RDJ is getting more. Oh, they're also getting to produce the films through their Agbo Pictures label, which is like a first. Like that generally doesn't happen with these.
Okay, that seems weird. I don't even know why.
Well, because they get more creative. Part of their deal for coming back was they get more creative control of this
I'm
operation.
happy about that.
Robert Downey Jr. is going to receive a payment exceeding $80 million, as well as back-end stuff, and a series of perks, including a private jet, private security, and what is being described as a trailer encampment
Yeah,
on
okay.
set.
So I have several questions about that. Does he not already have a private jet?
Part of Downey's conditions for returning included the Russos being brought back to direct the films.
Yeah, that I didn't know about until that article came
It
out.
makes sense. He was probably like, I don't want to work with a new guy.
Well, he's like, I need this movie to be a slam dunk. I need to...
I don't think he cares what the quality is. I just think he was like, I don't want to have to like
No,
work with a guy.
because I don't think he wants his face to be the face of a terrible movie. Because these are the movies that built his career, and he's been saying in
Yeah, I don't
articles
think
for
he
a while
cares.
now that like all my best acting is in Iron Man. Like, I think to him,
Because that's where 90% of his acting
well, yeah,
is.
I think to him this is like a prestige thing. I think he thinks of it that way.
I think he was like...
Because I think he thinks anything.
I think
in is a
he's like,
prestige
if
thing.
I'm coming back, I want it to be the easiest job I've ever had. I want to be flown to the country where it's shooting. I want to be bused to set. I want to be wheeled onto the soundstage.
Yeah. Okay. So why?
And
doesn't,
I want to only work with people I already know.
Does he not have a private jet?
He probably does, but this studio is probably paying for like the crew and the
Gas, I guess.
Yeah.
And
to
what is
have
a
it
trailer
stored.
encampment? Are they building him a neighborhood?
I am guessing he is getting like not just a trailer, but
Does he
like
have a bunker.
like a full like setup, probably like the size of this house.
How long are they going to be filming this for?
I mean, they're shooting 2 movies back to back, and they're probably both going to be like 3 hours long, so it's probably going to be a whole year like shoot.
My guess is, yeah,
It's going to shoot for like a whole year.
He was living in a trailer for a year when they made Infinity War and Endgame. He was like, if I'm coming back, I'm not doing that
I think
again.
he was like, I think he got literally everything he asked for.
Yeah,
I don't think there was a single thing they even negotiated over. I think he had an asking price and a list of things, and they had to meet them.
Mickey Mouse.
And they didn't have a choice.
Mickey Mouse himself.
They're spending the entire
drafted the email. He said, Robert, listen, buddy, things aren't going so good over here.
Yeah, no, because
Blank check.
they had
Whatever you want. He hit send. Robert gave him a list. Mickey didn't even read it.
Yeah.
He just approved it.
Because he had all the leverage. I mean,
Yeah.
They says this is their publicized backup plan.
Yes.
The other thing fell through, and now we're desperate. And now he gets to go, cool, I won $100 million.
See, I don't even mind because this is cooler than their original plan.
This
was always cooler than their original plan.
Paying him and the Russos is going to cost the entire budget of an entire other Marvel movie.
That's cool.
And probably paying, maybe the reason it's just McFeely is because they could not afford to bring both of them back.
Maybe.
They could only afford to pay one guy.
I did see the memes of people being like the CGI for this movie, and it's like, has to VFX footage for the Hulk.
Yeah. I mean, this movie's going to cost $1 billion to make.
This is going to be the first $1 billion movie.
Those Avatar sequels cost like $500 million. This
will be the first $1 billion movie.
They're going to spend $300 million on the cast alone. I mean, at least. I mean, just bringing in
Robert alone is a third of that.
Everyone's coming back. I mean, they're going to have to bring back Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, Tom Holland's asking price has probably gone way up. And all these people have all the leverage. I mean, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, they need
Ryan Reynolds. I mean, all these people are going to ask for an insane amount of money, and they're just going to have to pay it.
Yeah.
What if these movies don't make $2 billion?
They will.
What if they don't?
Doesn't matter.
What if the audience interest just isn't there?
Doesn't.
Stranger things have happened.
It is there. Deadpool and Wolverine just
doing
massive numbers.
99% chance is these are the biggest movies of all time. But I'm just saying, like, what if it doesn't? Like, what if this doesn't work?
On the off chance that it bombs.
Not even bombs, just like doesn't make an uncharted amount of money.
Okay, let's say worst case scenario, it breaks even.
What if it just makes like Age of Ultron money? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I think they just need a win.
But they're gonna spend so much on these.
If these movies break even, I think we're gonna see a drastic. I think we're gonna see a drastic scaling back of the whole MCU.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to spend less on these. They're gonna have to find a way to spend less on them.
Yeah, we're gonna get. It'll be much more return. You see, either way,
I just can't imagine what the budget on this is gonna be.
Here's why I think it doesn't really matter.
It's gonna be more than the GDP of a small country.
Because either way, the following movies are going to be a drastic reduction in scale for one of two reasons. The reason is either going to be we blew all our money on this, it didn't do super well, we need to reduce the stakes, we need to reduce the scale, we're going to restart, we're going to start fresh, we're going to do a new thing, it's going to be different, we'll try to build a new audience. That's either going to be the reason, or the reason will be we've done everything.
Yeah.
We're going to try and...
We got to do some smaller character stuff.
We're going to do some smaller character stuff because we've literally done everything else, and we don't have anything else to do, and why the heck not? Like, that, one of those two reasons is going to be the reason why they're going to... We're going to get basically the same.
I'm just like, Avatar 2 had to make $1 billion to break even. Like, this is going to have to make 1.5. Like, it's going to have to make just a crazy amount of money.
This will be...
Just to be at a break-even point.
This will do, I think, probably the same as Infinity War.
Which was $2 billion. It's going to do $2 billion. It'd have to do $2 billion.
I think it'll do $2 billion.
It's going to
because, and here's why I think there's a guarantee it will do $2 billion.
Is this a Marvel thing?
Not even that.
With Avengers in it?
Avatar.
Yeah. If Avatar 2 can do it,
Avatar 2 did it with no effort.
Yeah.
No effort.
They just remade the movie Avatar.
They just did it again.
Yeah.
And they barely even marketed it.
Yeah.
It was just like, yep, new Avatar, go see it. Everyone was like, oh, okay. And they went to go see it.
What if they made a big 3D push for this movie? Avengers in 3D.
Stupid, but sure, why not? And here's the real reason. See that right there?
That big A.
Yeah. If a movie's got a big A, that's $1 billion movie right there.
No, I mean it literally is.
The rules.
They all make at least $1 billion. So.
Big A's equals $1 billion.
I don't know. It's just I can't even imagine the scale of this production. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be, I think, the biggest movie ever made. Like, not even from like the biggest movie of the summer.
You mean like
this is literally going to be the most comprehensive and expansive film production of all time.
It's gonna. Again, this there's no like how did my question is how do you make that and have it not feel like the end of it? Like this is the greatest show. This is the last dance. This is
and
this is it.
That's why that's why they're going to scale down after this.
Yeah.
Because they are only going to tell the stories that are like the stories that are interesting to like niche stuff, basically.
What if it's bad?
I don't think it really matters if it's bad.
What if it's terrible?
I really don't think it matters.
Oh, it'd be nuts.
I hope it's not bad.
I don't root for anything.
All the building blocks are there for it to be good.
Unless it's a movie directed by like Bryan Singer, then I root for it to be bad. But like No, like most movies, I want to be good.
Yeah, I don't. If it's bad, then it's bad. I don't know. I don't think it. From a financial perspective, I don't think it really matters if it's bad. I
No,
really don't.
because everyone's gonna see it anyway.
Everyone's gonna see it anyway. From a fan standpoint, I would
Like,
be disappointed if it's
because
bad.
you've expanded your audience expectations by adding the baggage of every Marvel movie ever made.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot, and you got to pay off all that. You got to make all that feel worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's bad, from a fan point of view, I'll be disappointed. I want it to be good. I really do. I want those character interactions to feel meaningful.
I feel like it's gonna be really hard for that to not get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That's the main thing I'm worried about, really.
It's just nuts. Anyway, yeah, that's the Marvel stuff. Downey's back. Also, he's gonna show up as Iron Man, and this is pretty clear. At least, come on.
I don't think
Him and
so.
Tom Cruise.
I don't think he would.
Iron
Tom
Man?
Cruise may be Iron Man, but
100%.
I don't think Tony Stark will be Iron Man in this.
I do. They're gonna bring in some Iron Man variants.
Maybe, but
Maybe some of them.
see,
He's already on set. Might
here's
as
the
well.
thing. My whole perspective on this movie is based on what would be cool interaction wise. I think we've seen.
See,
all
that's
that.
not what they're thinking, though. Their thinking is, what
yeah,
would a thing?
sorta.
What's a thing people will clap for? Iron Man back, clap.
Yeah, they would clap for that, but I don't know if it would be. I think the retroactive disappointment that would bring would outweigh the coolness factor of it.
Like, they just brought Wolverine back after killing him in a really dramatic.
But again, that's Fox stuff. That's it's a different thing.
No, but that's the
I really
that is
don't-
the same idea, though.
I don't think it's a different character completely. It's a totally different
It
people.
would be a different Iron Man.
But it's the same people doing it, so it's not different.
I mean, it was Hugh Jackman doing it.
I'm talking about the people behind it, not the people.
But it
the
also,
guy.
but it was the people behind it don't matter, because there wasn't
To the audience, it doesn't matter.
But it wasn't like there was one person doing Iron Man or one person doing Wolverine for all those years, other than the actor. I mean, they switched creative teams between all those movies, so
those movies were wild.
so it doesn't matter as long as the character, it's the same guy in the same role. Like, it would have the same effect on
I
the
feel
audience.
like in terms of cultural, zeitgeist, Iron Man's death was far more important.
No, it definitely was, but I'm just saying, in terms of the reason you wouldn't is because it would feel like a cop out emotionally.
I'm not even talking.
But
about
if you can get away with that with the Wolverine stuff, you can't.
I'm not even talking about from the point of it being like a cop out. I'm talking that was for comic book movies what Gwen Stacy's death was for comic books. That was
a seat change.
That was a turning point in.
Yeah, they got worse.
Well, not necessarily the quality, but people's investment in comic book movies completely shifted. The market for alternate takes on it boomed. The willingness for people to watch, people still want to watch them, but the general perception of mainstream comic book movies kind of plummeted for a while because they were everything's different now. That was kind of a turning point for the industry, less than the quality or
yeah,
fans.
but we're also doing the play the hits mode, so we're just gonna throw anything that's ever worked or made money before on the screen.
Yeah, I also don't know if he has a role. Again, I'm talking about story stuff, but
you bring in a point. Well, there's gotta be a point where the old casts of all these things pass the torch to the younger guys.
But he already that's exactly what I'm saying. So I agree 100%. But they're going to do that moment for everyone because he already did it.
Who?
Spider-Man.
But Spider-Man is a different guy than Iron Man. And if you're going to recast Iron Man, you got to have a moment where he goes,
"Oh, you mean
you young Iron Man,
No,
you're
they're
the
not
new
gonna- that
Iron
doesn't even
Man."
make any-
That's what they're going to do.
That doesn't even make any sense.
That's
What
got
are
to
you-
happen.
what are
That's
you
got to be
saying?
where we
No.
go.
I'm saying the thematic relevance of him passing on the torch. Iron Man already had that moment. Even Captain America 2 kind of already had.
I mean,
that
he
moment.
did kind of go, Spider-Man, you're the new face of the franchise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He already had that moment. I think we are going to see moments like that, but we'll see it with Thor. We'll see it with Black Widow. We'll see it with Hawkeye. We'll see it with all the other characters. Because this is their time to
Renner
pass
wants
on the
back in,
torch.
by the way. Renner was posting this on his Instagram. He wants back. He wants back in the Avengers stuff.
Well, he's
I don't
gonna
know if
be
he
in
can
it. What do you
still
mean?
physically do it.
If Patrick Stewart can play,
Okay,
guys
but his
still,
but he doesn't run around and like have a thing that he has to shoot. He just sits in a chair and does this.
okay,
Like
so have Hawkeye be like, "Oh, I got in a bad
No,
accident.
I do
I'm
think- I
wheelchair-bound
think-
now.
no,
This
I
girl
mean-
is now me."
Kate Bishop's gonna run around and do all that.
Yeah,
action
that's
stuff.
what I'm saying. Like he doesn't have to do much.
What's up with that, by the way? Is Young Avengers, isn't this the same thing, or is that gonna be a different thing?
We'll get to that later. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's my take on that stuff.
Anyway, what a fun episode, everyone.
Good stuff. Let's do an update on that real quick.
Oh, the box office
Yeah,
charts.
before my phone dies.
So, Inside Out 2 is still number 1. Deadpool Wolverine is already at number 3. It's climbing up the charts fast.
And it'll win by the end of the week.
Twisters is at number 6. It will pass Apes at least. Maybe Bad Boys, but we'll see. Sam, here's the thing. We thought you were locked in for a win. However, Alien Romulus has not come out yet.
That's true.
It needs to make your top 10, right? But
Yes.
if once it does, it'll knock Garfield off, which will leave us both with 8.
Is Garfield? Well,
'Cause
but maybe
I'm
that'll
locked
just be
in.
accuracy. It'll be like who's closest to where.
Because the only thing it'll knock off, the only thing that's probably going to crack into the top 10 at this point is Alien. If Alien cracks in, the only movie it'll knock out is Garfield. If Garfield's gone, you'll
You
have
don't
8,
think-
and I'll have 8 because you didn't put Twisters on yours, and I did.
Oh yeah, because I didn't know Twisters was coming. out.
So my misses will be Horizon and Furiosa's. Yours will be Furiosa and Garfield. So we'll both have 8. And we both have the same 1 and 2. And then I believe because I have Inside Out higher, I'll win. I still have a chance. Because if we both have 8, then we go on who has the most correct placements. Which we won't actually know until the actuals work themselves out. But
I mean, I'm closer on A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place is also maybe going to move. Could be exactly at number 8.
Yeah.
Because Alien could pass it.
We
And
should-
I'm also closer on Bad Boy. I mean, Bad Boys has a good chance of just straight up being the same. It could be 4.
Yeah.
And then Inside Out is probably going to be 2 or
Is
1.
Garfield on the top 10? Like
It
right
is.
now?
It's still on the. It's at number 10. It's going to be
What?
knocked off by
Why?
Alien,
How?
most likely.
How is If number 8 still?
The last 3 have lost money at the box office. The last 3 movies on there. If Fall
That's
Guy and
crazy that
Garfield
there are
all
t-
lost money.
That's crazy that there is a top 10 list where like 3 of them are losing money.
Yeah. Everything else is doing fine though.
All right, it's shaping up to be interesting.
It could get interesting. It could
get
be
interesting
closer
here
than we
soon.
thought. I
Is
thought
there
I had
anything
killed
coming up-
myself with Horizon, but you were dumb and didn't see Twisters coming. You didn't hear
Is
the
there
sirens.
is there any movies coming out after Alien?
Nothing that would make the chart. It's just some smaller stuff. Probably the core movies. Harold and the Purple Crown is
If is up there.
Borderlands is probably not going to crack up on the top 10.
It could be If.
No. It's not.
All right.
It just won't. That's it for
Yeah,
this week.
that's it. Bye-bye.
We'll be back. Okay, fine. Don't do an outro.
We don't.